What's up, everybody? What's up? I had typed something for my banner and I just don't know why it's not showing up. Let me see if I can fix that problem. Okay, there we go. Let me see, hide that. What's up, everybody? How's it going? I know it's going to take time for some people to come in, so I'm just going to go ahead and do my little waiting until somebody else shows up. So let me see if I can find some music to play in the background, y'all. And please, 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 please forgive me if you hear any other background noise. I got a lot of stuff going on right now. Hold on. Woo. You new in the house. Welcome, girl. What's going on, lady? I'll be back in 1 second. Well, it seems like everybody at work because I only got my girl you new here, but that's okay. Thank you for coming out, you new. I appreciate you so very much. Oh, hi, Miss Joe. How you doing today? Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. I don't know if you're a new subscriber or if you came through you new. It doesn't matter. Welcome. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. You can't see my avatar. I don't know what's going on. I have no clue what's going on. I can see it on the side of the article that I have in front of me. But uh like to done person. Okay. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. I appreciate everybody for coming. So, everybody been getting on my case about going live. You knew. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about this story here, and I'm waiting for Miss April to come in, and she'll be here shortly. She has something to take care of really quick. Um, but yeah, it's I don't understand all these different names. YSL, Young Thug, all this stuff. I don't get it. What's all these different names? Just Young Thug is good enough for me. I barely heard of him, so when I heard about this story that he's in jail, and surprisingly, the guy has a drug problem. Allegedly, we gotta always cover our back and say allegedly. He has some sort of addiction to some type of drugs. So allegedly, that as they always say, and so his attorney was busted because his attorney got caught slipping him prescription pills, even though they were prescription. Whose prescription was it? I haven't read the story, but whose prescription was it? Not only are we going to cover this story, but we're going to cover a couple of other things that's been floating around in the news, you guys. Um, that seems like it needs some attention brought to. And I know a lot of people race to cover various stories, but I don't want to always cover everything that I see. But when it sparks me and it jars my attention, I will definitely, you know, I'll talk about the story. I talked about a story yesterday. I didn't get a chance to upload it, but I'll upload it yesterday. I mean, later on. Um, it's a lot of stuff going on out here, you guys, and these are stories concerning children. If you are a parent that have young children, I want you guys to be extremely careful because you have look, this is the thing. They highlight how the male teachers are doing things to the young boys, but they're not talking about how there are female predator teachers. And so they have been busting a number of female teachers that are having inappropriate interactions with the young boys. Hi, BD. You know what? What's going on? All these abbreviations, my brain can't handle it today. But they talk about, and I'm not going to get to this story with young boy yet. I'm waiting for Miss April. So, they talk about how the men are messing with young kids, as I was saying, but they're not talking about how the female teachers are, getting impregnated by the young boys in school. They're having secret affairs. They're not talking about any of that. So if we're going to talk about men predators, we need to also speak on female predators because the men are not the only ones that are preying on young students. There was a story that I heard where a teacher literally got pregnant by a young student of hers. And what I think is retarded is that this boy is still a minor and he has to pay child support. Who does that? Who does that? Why should he have to pay child support when she seduced him? He see a teacher, she looks good, and the hormones are raging at that age. They're like, oh my God, I got an older woman. Good God Almighty. They don't know the outcome of what's going to happen when they have interaction with this person. So we got to blame the females as well as the males. And I'm not giving anybody a pass. These women out here are nasty as well. Another thing, I asked the question because I was on, oh my God, you know what? My brain is getting crazy. But last night I was on one of the, oh God, I forgot his name. I'm so sorry, you guys. But he asked the question, should a DNA test be mandatory for everyone that's having a baby? And I think a couple people got mad at me because I said, absolutely. I think that a DNA should be mandatory when a woman gives birth to a child, because you have so many women out here, even if they're married, they think that they're slick and they go out there and they mess around and think that one time they can't get popped. And then all of a sudden you are happy thinking that you're carrying your husband's baby. But then once that DNA, after let's say 18 years worth of taking care of this child, you find out that it's not your kid. I think that will cut down a lot of heartache. I think that will cut down a lot of men paying for children that are not theirs. I think that it'll cut down on a whole lot of stuff. Hi, Miss April, are you coming up? I think it'll cut down on a lot of stuff. I really believe that they should start doing DNA testing whether you're married or not, because some of these men, husbands, have been taking care of kids that their wife has been holding these secrets for years. Hold on, Miss April. My bad. My bad. This link is only for Miss April right now, you guys. And if I want you guys to come up, I will drop the link again. But this is only for Mrs. April Showers. All right? So if you come up and I don't accept it, it's because I said it's for Miss April only right now. But yes, I think that DNA should be mandatory because you have all these different shows where one being Laura Lakes. I like looking at her show, and the lady told her daughter this week that the man that she was messing around with was the father. Come to find out, the girl was like, "Are you my father?" He wasn't the father. He thought he was the father. He was 100% sure he was the father, and he ended up not being the father. So she slandered him, talked about him like I call it stock steering, like a stock steering dog, put him down and everything else, and come to find out he's not the father. And then Laura Lakes asked, do you know who the father is? Yeah, I know who the father is. I think that's sad. I think that's absolutely sad. So we're waiting on Miss April Showers so that we can get into this other story. I've lost a couple of people. Huh. Okay. Okay, here she comes, you guys. Here she comes. Hey,
Girl,
Miss
I
Evelyn.
swear to God, if it didn't have a crackle of lightning and it started storming really bad out here, so if I go out, that means it's lightning and stuff. I'm so sick of this rain. Hello, everybody. I was listening. Okay, I'm here
Okay.
now.
Okay, I want to ask you the question. Do you think that DNA testing at the hospital after birth should be mandatory?
I believe it most absolutely should be.
Yes. And what is your reasoning for it?
My reasoning for that is because I know a lot of men that took care of babies that was not theirs. And I mean, yeah, yeah. I know. I had a BFF who now lives in Texas. Her daughter's father took care of a kid that wasn't his better than his own daughter. Of course, he was with this lady, and Lord hold. Uh, The fella came to town looking for this woman. Come to find out, the baby wasn't even his.
Wow. Hi,
Yep.
gamer bro. Yeah, that's crazy.
Uh-huh.
And I don't understand how these women can go around all these months knowing and these years knowing that this man is not the father. That's very selfish. And I used to say years ago, and people were like, "You had wisdom before your time." I used to say, "You know what? What if that child get hurt and need blood, and then they find out that he's not the father is not a match?" They were like, "You got wisdom before your time because you used to say that years and years ago." You know,
Girl, them men be knowing them kids. I believe some of them know. Because I know a lot of guys in Joliet that was outside Childs. And they look just like they siblings that their mom had the babies by. So, uh-uh. Yeah. Mm-mm.
yeah, I had a friend. We stopped being friends because I told him, I said, "That's not your baby. I think she's cheating on you." And we got into a big argument, and he stopped talking to me. And come to find out, what I felt in my heart was absolutely true. And so later on, we lost like 10 years, and he came back. Hi, TNT. He tried to come back and talk to me, and I was like, "No, I have never told you anything to hurt you." And I just knew in my heart because the way she was acting, and plus, I pray, but the way she was acting, it was super, super suspicious. Like we were staying too long, like we needed to get up out of there before this person, gets off of work or this person is on their way. And I was like, I did not feel that vibe. That vibe was really, really terrible to me. Hi, cruising is fun. Hi. And
Yeah.
so I told him it's
So,
not your baby.
yeah. But do you tell that person, like, how far do you go? Do you say it's not their baby? That's why it should be tested, so you don't have to tell them.
Right. But like I said, this person knew that whenever I felt something, he was like, "I don't know how you be knowing stuff,
Girl,
but when you say stuff, it's real." And so because you've experienced me saying stuff to other people, and I tell you the truth, and his own mom even felt the same way, and she was like, "You've been feeling," I said, "I've been feeling this way for like 5 months," and she's 8 months pregnant now. And his mom felt that way. His mother never seen her do anything, but she just, you had a gut intuition, and it ended up not being his baby. Because the thing that made me laugh is his whole family is jet black, and this baby came out Latino and black. So how do you do that? Hi, Joshua.
yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm telling
Yes,
you
hello
right now,
everyone.
it's storming really bad here. So,
Are you safe though? With all that thunder and lightning, are you in a safe spot?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it's like coming down bad.
Okay.
Um,
Well, let's get our booties into this story. With we're gonna talk about another story too. Me and Miss April we're gonna talk about, but
hey,
YSL.
I'm seriously gonna have to get off this computer.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. You come back in when you
I'm
can.
sorry.
That's
It's
okay. That's
gray
okay.
and it is thunder, and I'm looking at this. The sky is gray.
No,
Wow.
we're more concerned about your safety than anything.
Okay.
Yeah. If anybody else wanna come up, let me
Will
see.
somebody come up and please fill in? Because uh, my cats are looking at me. Let me get off this computer and this phone.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
All right. I dropped the link, you guys. So can somebody come up and join me while I'm doing this live? Thank you guys for coming. I totally appreciate. Hey Tracy. Um, so we had to let Miss April go because she's experiencing some troubling weather, and everybody please lift her up in prayer that she'll stay safe. Um, because I definitely don't want no lightning and thunder to hit nothing that's close to her. You know, if it's going to hit, let it hit the forest if there's a forest out there. So, let me see. Hold on. I want to invite. I know you knew can't do it. Is BGP still in here? If so, can you please join me? If not, Gamer Bro, you're welcome to come up. Tracy, you're welcome to come up. Whoever wants to hit that link and join me, it'll be greatly appreciated because I don't, at this point, I don't want to be up here by myself, but I can do it. Okay, so let me go ahead. So YSL, I did not know that his name was YSL. I just remember hearing Young Thug. That's all I remember hearing. I never heard YSL. So he's in jail, you know, for whatever. I didn't go through the whole thing, but he committed some sort of crime, you know, and his attorney, was arrested for carrying prescription drugs. Not only was he arrested for carrying prescription drugs, but hi, you knew, thank you.
Hey, no problem.
His attorney was giving him drugs. And me and you knew had this conversation earlier. And like she said, if you got an addiction, nobody should be bringing you anything to feed that addiction, correct?
Right. Hold on. Hold on one second. All right. Yeah,
Okay.
I believe that. Yes, definitely.
So I don't understand why sometimes these lawyers would take such a high risk. Now, not only are you in being arrested, you could potentially lose your license to be a lawyer. You can
Right.
lose that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And people don't really think being sneaky. There's always a chance of being, you know,
Caught up.
caught. Yeah,
Yep.
there's always that chance. So, okay, so Young Thug and 13 others are accused of gang and racketeering charges. So they was on a mission. They was on a mission, you know, and I get really angry that a lot of times when somebody does do a crime, they always want to try to make an excuse. Well, it's the government's fault. It's this person's fault. It's that person's fault. It's the way they were brought up. It was they had a bad home. Their mother was on drugs. This, that, and the other. I know that those things affect people on a day-to-day basis, but what about the people that have been through harder times than that, and they have been productive citizens in this world? So sometimes people will use their trauma as a way to get away with murder. Not to say that word, but to get away with stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You should kind of use other words because I don't want them to mess with your channel.
Girl, they already messing with my channel.
Well, we don't want it to happen anymore.
Yeah, so they get away with all types of crimes and
But
stuff like.
definitely.
Yeah, and it gets on my nerve. And every time I see somebody trying to make an excuse, I'm like, when you make excuses for people's bad behaviors, rudeness, or whatever it is that they're doing, then it only encourages other people to follow suit and do the same thing. And
Right.
I think it's crazy listening at and eating. Okay, well, what you eating, Joshua? Because I want some. I'm hungry. But yeah, it only encourages other people to do other stuff or the same kind of stuff. What do you think? She keep on.
Hold on one second. Hold on.
Kalani. Oh my God. Hi, Kalani. How are you? Oh my God. Kalani, I want to talk about you for a second. Oh my God. When I went on Kalani's page for the first time and he was upset, but I love how he handled himself when he was upset. He was so respectful, but at the time you could tell he was upset.
Yeah.
And normally when somebody upset and they going off, I'm like, oop, I'm clicking off because I don't want to be a part of, I don't want to be a part of that tornado. But
Right.
he made it so comfortable where you wanted to, well, why are you upset? And then when he explained why he was upset, you were like, oh, okay. See, when I get mad, I want to handle it like that. That's how I want to handle it, Kalani. That's how I want to handle it. Thank you for coming in. Miss April had to get off, you guys, because it was thundering and lightning, and of course, we want her to be safe. We don't want her to be in the in the way of wherever that lightning and thunder will strike. So everybody, keep your prayers up for Miss April Showers.
Yes.
So as I was saying, when people do stuff, it's like they give them a pass for bad behavior. What do you feel about that?
Yeah. Earlier you had asked me a question. My husband was making a bunch of noise. I had to turn this thing down because he was rolling a pressure washer, so I couldn't hear you. So I was like, let me turn this thing off so that she don't hear all this noise in here. So what were you asking me again? I'm sorry.
Okay, so let me explain something to you. If I ask you a question, I have seen your moments.
A lot.
I have seen your moments. So
don't feel bad. I have seen your moments too.
Girl,
I'm 54 years old.
Oh my God. Hold 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Okay. How's everybody in the chat doing? I can't see the chat, so I'm sorry I can't answer any questions that you may have for me. But hello, how are you? Thank you for coming in. And also, I'd like to say, hey, Kalani, how's it going? I need to say hello to you. Gamer Bro, I said hello to you in the chat when I was in the chat. But everybody that I did not speak to, hello, how are you?
Yes, everybody, again, because I just seen the word. Miss April had to get off because her weather is so bad. You guys keep the prayers up.
Yes.
You know who I want to come up here? I want the word to come up here. I
Is
just
he in
dropped
there?
the link. Yeah, I just
Hey,
dropped
the
the
word,
link.
what's up?
Can you come up here, the word? Yeah, that's the guy I want to talk to right now.
Too bad you're
Hit
not
that
doing this
link
because you
if
could
you
do a what you call it interview like the one you've been wanting to do.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna set up a date. So Kalani, the word, I'm putting you on notice today, and it is 420 smoke day, puff puff, and I won't be puffing or giving or nothing. Anyway,
I'm done.
Y'all, let me tell you something. If I tell y'all what happened to me the first time I had some edibles, you guys will not stop laughing for 2 months. I guarantee you. But girl, it was bad. It was, oh my God. It was worse than my son. My son said he smoked for the first time, and he said he didn't know what the effects was going to be. So he was eating Doritos, and he started freaking out because he said his hand kept disappearing. So he jumped up screaming talking about his hand disappeared. Everybody was laughing like, fool, pull your hand out the bag. And he said they laughed at him, so he sat in the corner, started crying, talking about nobody loves me. I said, oh, no, I don't want what you had. I definitely don't want what you had. I can't do it. I couldn't do it. No, but mine was far worse than that. But I ain't telling.
She pleaded the fifth when I asked her, y'all. She pleaded
Hold
the
on,
fifth.
let me drop it again. Kalani, you're in Together's chat. So if you can hit that stream, y'all, you might end up in Together's. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, he should.
I mean the word. I'm sorry.
It should be.
If we can call it
it's
a discussion or conversation, I'm in. Interviews are like no. The interview.
It's not that kind.
You got to come up here. Up here so I can.
It's not that kind of interview. Trust me. It's funny as heck. It is not that kind of interview.
Yeah, I asked them some of the funniest questions and stuff about them, fun facts.
Yes.
I don't do getting in people's personal business. I would never do those type of interviews because I think it's too much of trusting somebody with your personal information. I would not do that. Oh, heck no. You can keep that for the professionals. And I'm not doing that. I'm not no therapist. I ain't no doctor. And if you say something, you might shock me and I'll have to go think for myself. No, thank you. We keep it fun. What they say, we'll keep it cute. So I dropped the link again for you, the word. But yeah, that's what happened with my son. No, sit down. My dog always, as soon as she hears sound, she ready to rock and roll. So let me see. So NBA YoungBoy, let me get back to him. If the word don't want to come up, I respect that. Let's see. Fulton County Sheriff's deputy arrested. I don't know, honey. I'm just gonna say his attorney because people be having some names. I don't know where they get these names from, but it's not fair that you get a name that the rest of the world got to try to pronounce. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. Okay, an attorney representing one of the defendants in the Spalding trial of rapper Young Thug and 13 others accused of gang and racketeering charges in Atlanta. The attorney had been carrying prescription medication, and on Thursday, officers dragged him off at the security checkpoint. Woo, you know you in trouble. And I want to know, how did they find out that he had the little stuff on him? Hi, Derek Iverson Sr. How you doing?
Hello, everybody in the chat. I can't see nobody because the chat don't show on my phone. I don't know why it's not letting me anymore. It used to, now it don't.
Oh, Nate the Great. Oh, look here.
Hello.
Oh, my God. Oh, the word is here. Oh, my God. Hi.
Hey, the word.
Hi, the word.
Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, apologies. My son going crazy right now, but I'm going to try to keep it as quiet as possible.
No, leave him alone. Leave him alone, because I got one here that don't know how to leave me alone. So yeah, I'm not tripping off of that. Let that baby alone. Please, this is my channel. If that baby holler, I'ma holler with him. So what?
Okay.
I do not care. I love the baby. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing today? Hey, you know.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. Just trying to get these children settled a little bit.
Okay.
Hey, if they making noise, I do not care. I'm not that kind of YouTuber. If you got kids, I got one here, so they liable to do anything. So it is what it is. I'm not that. Ooh, you gotta have silence. No, whatever's happening, let it happen. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm serious. Anytime I get on that. No, so my fun fact interviews and stuff, like I ask you questions. So I'm gonna give you one question that I want you to ask.
I can't see you behind that pole.
Huh?
You stupid.
What you say, fool?
I'm sorry. I thought I muted my phone.
What y'all talking about? Stripper pose?
No.
Oh, you know shutting it off today. Oh, shucks now.
I thought I muted the phone.
Oh, y'all heard that, the word. Oh,
You
Nope.
know how Medea
Nope.
does the thing where she
Nope.
stands behind things and says, can you see me?
I
And
ain't
we all
listening.
can see her.
I heard a poll. No, I heard a poll.
You got me in trouble.
Netsy, Steve, Miss April, had to click off, so she's streaming it from her channel because they're having severe weather storms. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. But I want to get back to this stripper pole. What's up?
Okay, look, I didn't say stripper pole. Okay, it's a pole like, okay, the colander. It's like a little colander. Okay, like a column colander, whatever you call that doggone thing. Anyway, so have you heard Medea say, "Can you see me?" And you know you can see her, but she's pretending like you can't see her behind things. Okay, have you guys seen that? He does the same thing over there, and he stood behind it. I go, no, I don't see you behind that pole.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Let me straighten this up because I don't want Nate to say this is too much for me. Okay, you know what? I can't remember whose live I was in last night. I'm so mad. So I want to ask Nate and any other guys in here, do you think, before I get back to the story, do you think that it should be mandatory that a woman does a DNA test at right after a child is born in the hospital?
I believe that was D Truth's live, if I'm not
Thank
mistaken.
you. Thank you. That's who it was.
I would say this. It's a good way to eliminate any questions. I mean, because at the end of the day, we know it's the mother is the mother of the child because it comes out the mother. But unfortunately, a lot of times we don't know if the dad is the dad until you have a DNA test. Like, I have I have friends who took care of a kid for 11 years before he found out the kid wasn't his because the kid needed a kidney and he went to go get a kidney and they found out that not only wasn't he a match, but he wasn't the father of the child. So um,
Wow.
it's just unfortunate. So if you just to eliminate any questions, um, and I don't want because it's a touchy subject because uh, it may not be fair to females who aren't doing shady stuff like that, but uh, the reality is that the mother knows that for a fact that the child is hers, but a lot of times the father don't know. Not fact. I mean, unless you get the DNA test. Like,
Right.
my kids, I have two kids. They mixed. So their mother's Middle Eastern. I'm black. You can tell because of the tone and it's certain things like my toe. They got my toe. Um, some of the genetic, I guess you want to call them genetic defects that run to my family. Both my kids have them. They look like me, but uh, ultimately, like I told my wife, and she didn't, she wouldn't even care. You know, she wouldn't care. She said she has nothing to hide. She wouldn't mind if I did get a DNA test, but I wanted it until uh, you know, I don't now, but I understand with fathers. Just to make sure it is there. I think it's just a way to eliminate any confusion.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I agree a little bit on it okay, so like if you're married, um, you may not have to do that unless you know your wife is up to no good, or you know your wife to be like that in her past. Maybe, yeah, she's sketchy. You go and get her checked out. Make sure that child is yours, regardless if you're married or not. But if you have a marriage and you've been married for years and years, there shouldn't be any reason for you to be testing your child. If you feel like you have to test your child, then you shouldn't even be with that person. Period.
Okay.
Just saying.
I disagree. I disagree because you have women out here that are slicker than cat poop.
That's
And
what I'm saying.
you will never in your life imagine that your sweet little darling could do something like that. and you're going about business, and there are no signs of her doing anything, and then all of a sudden that slip up, you go to
Mm-hmm.
the hospital, do a DNA, and find out that that sweet little darling ain't so darling. So
But that
I
sweet
think
little
that
darling ain't no darling because they've been like that. They don't
you,
just become that.
you
That's
know
not
what, that's
something
not true. That's
they
not
just
true.
start. They've been doing it.
That's not true.
Why
That's
not?
not true.
Why
You
not?
have some women, they will get into an argument with their man and just act a plumb spoiled brat and be like, I'll show him, and go out there and do something dumb
No,
and never did it before.
right. No, 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 no. What I'm saying is no. Okay, so what you're okay, so you're saying that if they never did it before and all of a sudden they're gonna do it? No, that's in them to do it if they've done it. If they're gonna act like that and be like, oh, I'm gonna get them back and just do the same thing or get him back to for whatever it is that he did. Let's just say I don't know, cut her hair or whatever, because I've seen stuff like that. Okay, so he did something to her that she felt like she went out and cheated. Well, she's probably done it before. Don't nobody just think that way if they've never done it. Just to say.
Okay, that's like a person that never tried weed before and they try it and then something happens. So you can't really say that, like me, I never smoked in my life,
Right?
and I would have never thought that I would actually get coached into eating the edible, and I
Okay.
did it. So you can't. That's what I'm saying. You
But
can't
that's
say
different though, right?
no. It's
That's
not. It's the
different.
same thing. You allowed yourself to get put in a position, not paying attention to what you were doing, or you got caught up, or you got tipsy. Something could have happened, or you just did it, to see if you could get away with it. Like, I'm gonna steal this item, and I'm gonna see if I can get away with it, and you may never do it again. So there are. It's not the end of it. I'm just saying there are different people do different things for different reasons. It don't necessarily mean that you're like that in the first place. You don't have you. Some people just have a one-time affair and never did it again in their life, and end up that night that they had that one-time only affair.
Hmm.
Guess what? They popped up with another man's baby, and they never cheated
Uh-oh.
again in their life. So you can't say, "Oh, it's in them." It's never. There's so many things out here that will cause you to do things that you've never done before if you're weak-minded, if you don't stand on principles and values. That's all I'm saying. Everybody, it's not in them. I'm not a cheater. I don't go out and cheat, but I
Right.
know the consequences that if I did, what could happen. I could lose my marriage. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
So I know what can happen. Some people, they're young, and I'm not talking about the old people. I'm talking about these youngsters that don't really understand. They do stuff like that, and I think I forgot his name again. He just said his name. I thank him for bringing up that topic. And it's been on my brain ever since he talked. Oh shoot,
Me
it's
too.
been it's been on my brain ever since he spoke on it last night. But I'm saying there are different things and different reasons, different circumstances.
Hmm.
You get drunk, you let your guards down, you shouldn't have done it, but because you got tipsy, you shouldn't have done it, but your guards and your defenses are down. You're like, oh, what the hell, what can it hurt? And you may have never meant to do it, but it happened. I'm not giving an excuse, but I'm saying it's not always in people.
I
Hold
get what
on
you're
a
You know,
saying.
second. Go ahead, you
you
guys.
know,
Go ahead.
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So like as you said, if you've been married for years and you know your wife, you don't see. I mean, it's no point, right? Uh, my
Right.
question
If you've
is,
been married to the person and then all of a sudden you felt like you had to question the baby is yours or not, then what's the use to being married to that person? That means you don't trust them.
I don't look at it like that though. I'm gonna just give you like my perspective, right?
Okay.
Because like you carry the baby, right? So for a fact,
Yes,
you
I have
know it's
five
yours.
boys, and I'm also married to an African American, and I am Middle Eastern as well.
You, oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. But so let
Biggie.
me so let me ask you this then. Because you birthed the baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just speaking from a man's perspective.
Okay.
Uh, we have nothing to show,
Mm-hmm.
that it is our child,
Right.
but that paperwork, and that's just to confirm. I mean,
Right.
um, and the reason I say that is because that, I mean, that will take any doubt that anyone ever might have had. Even if, like, I trust my wife, I don't think she'd ever cheat on me. But it's still knowing that the baby came out of her, and she knows it's my baby because it came out of me. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. It's like it's nothing really truly tying me to this child but the word of my wife, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
and then like my wife said when she made this point, she said, "Well, I know it's yours and I have no problem, so it doesn't matter."
Right.
Like she knows like for 100% is mine, so she wouldn't care if I did the DNA test.
Yeah, no, no,
Um,
no. I get that part. I wouldn't care either because I'm not that person. I don't do the cheating thing. I leave. If I'm not happy, I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna cheat on you. I don't do that. That's just it's tit for tat kind of crap. No, I don't do that.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying as far as, that as far as like, you know, making sure that it is yours kind of thing. But at the same time, I feel like if a person, okay, so if a person goes and gets tested, right, and then they say, yeah, that you are the father, if there's a mistake with the blood, how do you know for a fact that that's yours if there's a mistake with the blood?
You test it again.
But if you didn't, but I'm saying if you took it for its first test result, if you took it for its test result and say, yeah, that's my child because that's what the test result gave me back, but it's not even your child, then what do you do? I mean, like you saying test again, but if you didn't think that that was a false result, then what?
Well, if
You
the
done fell
mother
in
is
love with this
adamant,
child. You already have that child in your life all this time. What are you going to do? Decide, oh, I'm not your daddy and I got to go.
no, I would tell him, look, I need you to trust me on this and I'll need you to test this again. And
Hmm.
let's say he do test again and find out that they made a mistake, then now the responsibility is on the hospital or the testing place.
Right.
So that's why you don't get a person that is like irrational,
Yeah.
and if they know for a certain that you're not the cheating type, like he said, I trust my wife 100%, and
Right.
they accidentally switched up the blood test, she'll be like, honey, this can't be true. And he'll say, okay, let's test it again. And when they find out y'all screwed up, now them together can go and do whatever they need to do. But
Right.
that's where you need to know that your partner is not that type of person. And
Right.
there could be a mistake because nothing is 100%
Right.
foolproof. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
I
Does
I
think
that make
mean,
sense, the word?
yeah, and she answered my question too. I think a lot of times females feel like it's a you want this test because you don't trust me.
right.
And I think it's males looking at it like I just said, we know for a fact that this is yours, but nothing but your word ties me to it. Like
Hmm.
as a male, not even like I won't even think that my wife cheated on me, right? I'm not
Right.
thinking that, but
Right.
at the end of the day, it's like it came out of you. What
Right.
do I have?
Right.
What I don't have a certificate. I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's like as a man, sometimes it's like, it's just it's doubt, not doubt that you cheated, but
Right.
it will solidify this is mine,
Right.
because of all the confusion out in the world. I personally believe it should be done at at the birth of the baby, honestly,
Yeah.
and that way a lot of problems will be. I don't think a father should be able to sign a birth certificate without a DNA test.
Right.
Me
I
Honestly,
get what
too.
you're saying.
um,
Okay. I
Me
get
too.
it.
Because
I
there are
get
too
it.
many guys that have signed birth certificates
Yeah.
based on the word. And I remember one segment where Maury Povich, this guy came on Maury Povich, but Maury Povich already had the DNA diagnostics. He already had the lawyer that worked for child support. He was the highest person. So this dude, the girl said, "You're the father," and he believed her, and he signed the birth certificate, and someone put a bug in his ear. So when he went to do a DNA,
Mm-hmm.
they found out that there was not one chance of him being the father, right?
Right. Yeah, I
They
believe I
still
hear
made
about
him
that all the time.
they still made this man pay child support. So in
Right.
desperation, this dude reached out to Maury. Maury had everything in place. They did a DNA test, found out that he had no possibility of being the father. So that dude that worked with child support and all that, he was able, when they went on a commercial break, he came back
Hmm.
and they said not only are they relinquishing him, they gave him documentation to relinquish him, and they started procedures against her because she knew that the dude that she kept creeping with was the
Right.
original father, but she didn't want
Right.
to put him on child support. So it happens like that. Like he said, I can
Yeah.
say, oh, the word is my baby daddy and he ain't never touched me, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Right.
now they hitting him with child support because I said it.
Right. So I have a question as well. I don't know what anybody in the chat's going to say because I literally cannot see what the chat says. I have no idea what you guys are saying. So hopefully you guys are not getting on me. But anyway, I have a question. So you have your baby, right? And your child that's given to you, the babies are almost, some of them kind of look a little alike, not exactly alike, like there's some things different, but you accidentally get the wrong child and they take the blood work from them, right? And you go get tested or however they test you, right? And then it comes back that that's not your child. How do you go about doing that once you do find out that that's not your child, other than you sue the hospital because they just made a big mistake and gave you somebody else's child and tested the wrong child for you? What would you do as a man? Is he
Um,
there?
honestly, it depends on uh, I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm gonna use me and my wife's scenario situation.
Okay.
I like together say I would have to go get it done again first because I do trust my wife. Um, if that is the wrong baby, I would tell her you need to go get tested too. Because we got to figure out who the father is to this child, and
Right.
hopefully once you get tested, it shows neither one of our baby, then we know we got a huge problem.
Right.
Um,
Okay. So
like
you're not going to be like quick to jump to conclusion, is what I'm saying. Because there's men
I,
out there that will jump to conclusion like, that's not my baby. That's it. It's over with. And then it's not even their child because it's not even that's not their child. That's not neither one of them's child. She didn't even have that baby. It was somebody else that had that baby.
Okay,
I'm gonna be,
then I'm sorry.
I don't know,
That's when I
no,
would say test. I would be like, okay, I know that this is his father, and I would tell them, okay, then test my DNA, and you test my DNA. I'll pay for it. Test my DNA, and they
Mhm.
said, well, it's neither one of y'all's baby.
Then they got the wrong baby. But
Exactly.
they don't actually, I mean, I like you said, you would have to pay for it because they're not going to just do it, because it does, some of them DNAs do cost money, so they're not like going to be ready to pay for it unless they have a proof that their child was mixed up with your child, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I guess that would be the way to go, which is to get you tested. But if you watch Lifetime, I watch a lot of Lifetime. I'm sorry, I do, and a lot of that Lifetime stuff is real. And these people, they don't do what you guys are saying. They're not thinking the way you're thinking. They think way different than y'all. Literally, the daddy was like not the daddy, but it was the daddy of the real baby. That's not even their child. And he literally, they ended up getting into arguments and all kinds of stuff, and the guy ended up leaving, and then the truth came out at the end. Of course, this is what they do on Lifetime, and that's basically what they went through. They went through a lot. Like they fought all the time. They didn't, he would say, that's not my child anyway, I don't have to do anything, that kind of attitude, right? And then it came out to be that it was neither one of their children, and then she was able to get her real child back.
But the damage was already done.
Right, exactly. So that's like, you literally accused me of being a cheater and I didn't even cheat on you. That's messed up how that happened. You know what I'm saying? Even though it wasn't their fault, but he put that in her to where she felt so horrible to the point where, like, we can't be together. You don't trust me. I told you this is my child and your child. This is our child. I did not cheat on you. And then he just took it to the limit where, no, you cheated on me and that's not my child. And then boom. And he treated that child so different than he probably would have, took care of his own child because he thought it wasn't his.
Well, it wasn't his.
Right. No, no, no. I'm saying,
Yes.
as far as like her cheating and stuff, saying that that's not his. You know what I'm saying? Instead of taking it as it was a mistake that the child could have been mixed up with another child or whatever, he literally was treating her like dirt all the time. And that's not my child. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. But then it came out to be it wasn't either of their children. It's not neither one of them. She didn't cheat on him or nothing. But the damage was done, and the accusing and everything was there. I mean, how could she live? How could she like literally be like, oh, I'm okay with that. You accused me. Oh, okay, okay. No, once you hear it so many times, you get tired of it.
Well, that's where, like I said, I would have said, okay, I know 1,000% for sure.
Mhm.
He knows 1,000% for sure that I did not step out on him. We both know this because we have that trust. And the baby came back not to be his. I'll be like, okay, you know what? Then maybe we should test me and see what happens. That's
Right.
where my head would have went instantaneously. But I would have
Right.
looked, I'll pay for it. And then
Yeah.
you would have found out it wasn't mine and it wasn't his. And he would have been like, see, I knew my wife wasn't no cheater.
Yeah. But he
And
already
to
put
be,
that in her. I mean, he already accused her of not being her cheating on him left and right, even though he didn't know the real reality of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's already in her head how he treated her. That's going to take some time to get over a man accusing you of doing something you didn't do.
Well, that's a whole nother ball game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The word, you have anything to say about that?
I was about to say, I think that when for people listening, I think that should be the step that they take. If if a woman knows for a fact she can cheat on a man and the baby is not his, I think the woman should say, "Let's test me too," just to prove. I don't think um, it just makes sense. Then denying, saying, "No, you are the father." Okay, well, test me
Right.
too, because this might not be our baby. Because I know for a fact I didn't cheat. So how is it possible? There's only one way possible. This is not our baby. So to me, that's the most logical route to take is to test the mother next. But people lie a lot of times. That's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, the baby comes not unfortunately, but the baby comes out the mother, so we know it's the mother's
Right.
baby. And just the way our society is set up today, cheating is the new normal. I mean, it's normal now. It's not taboo no more.
That's a
So
shame.
yeah, it's sad, but
Yeah.
that's why I said just to get rid of all confusion before the father signs the birth certificate. I think it should be a DNA test done.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but if you get offended as a
You're
wife,
hiding something if you get
yeah,
offended.
if you get offended, I think that you are definitely hiding something because if you have a conversation, say, babe, you know what, they got this new mandatory thing and they want to test all babies that come out, for DNA to make sure that and it may not just to be to keep the fathers from not claiming that child. It could be also to keep children from getting sent home with the wrong parent as well. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to look at
yeah,
it in different aspects. It
Yeah.
could be to help that because there have been stories out there with children where it's switched, and then the parents didn't get the chance to question to say, well, he's not the father. If something wrong with the blood, he ain't the father. What you mean he ain't the father? Okay, well then test me. Now you done tested me. Well, you're not the mother. Wait a minute, something wrong. Somebody got switched. So
Yeah.
that can avoid a lot of that stuff in the future as well. Not only just to say, oh, I think you're a cheater. I think different. I go deep. I go all the way in to think on different areas because I think that it will
Yeah.
definitely cut down on babies because how many babies right now that parents don't even know that there's a possibility that their child was switched at birth, that they never questioned it. The child never had to go to the hospital and have blood work done
Mm-hmm.
by accident, but they just did, blood tests like the normal physicals and stuff because it was a fairly healthy child.
Yeah.
And let's say all of a sudden, one day out of the clear blue sky, they find out years later, I'm not my mom's or my dad's child. What the hell happened? So now you got to do your homework, go back through paperwork. guess
Yeah.
what? That'll stop all that in tracks.
So I have
And
another scenario, and I do scenarios. I'm sorry to say, you guys. Hold on one second, Lola.
That poor little chihuahua.
She has been out like since I've been live with you. She's been out 4 times already, because she goes out there sniffing the grass and then comes right back in, and then she wants to go back out and sniff some more. No, I'm not doing this all day. Anyway, so this is another scenario. Before I do that little senior moment with you too. The other scenario is this. Okay, I'm gonna put myself in it because this is what they used to do back when I had my kids. When I started having my kids, they tested us for AIDS at all times. They tested us for AIDS. So they test you, make sure that everything's good, you're clear of any diseases, da da da, and then you have your baby, right? Okay, so they have your blood work. They have the baby's blood work when the baby comes out. It matches at the time, correct? Because you just had the baby. So they tested you guys and everything's good. That's your baby and all that. They take the baby to the incubators, right? And not, is it the incubators? No, that's for chicks. Yeah, are those incubators that they put the babies in?
yeah,
They're incubators, right?
yeah.
It's been a long time, girl. Been a long time.
Oh, it's been like 27, 26 years. Like, come on. Okay, okay. So basically, what I'm saying is, so they put the baby in the incubator, and then the father wants a DNA test. So they go do the DNA test. But by that time, they already switched the babies. The baby got switched out on accident. They got the wrong baby, this and that. And then here they come testing the baby, but the daddy is not the daddy, but the mama is the mama because they already did the blood work on the actual baby. Now what? What do you say on that one?
What?
Yeah,
No,
that
I
part.
just told them to retest it. Retest the mother.
You're gonna have to
I
test
just let
again.
them,
Yeah, retest the mother
yeah,
again. If they test the
because you,
mother, they said that's the baby, and now the daddy got to get tested, but the daddy's not the daddy because they already switched the babies.
yeah, you have to tell them to retest the mother again because there's a possibility the baby be switched.
Because
You know,
that's
I
not the
worked
baby. Okay, I got you.
because I worked in the hospital for 15 years and I was an anesthesiologist, but I was in, we did C-sections. We had to be there with C-sections. So the hospital I worked in for 15 years, they had like a foolproof method of not mixing up babies. So I thought every hospital did that. Now
Yeah.
fast forward, my daughter is 3 months,
Hmm.
and my daughter almost got switched at birth, and I caught it when they took
Well,
her.
that's good.
My wife had a C-section, but they had to intubate her. They had to,
Okay.
put her to sleep, so I couldn't sit in the room. So something told me to go check on her while they was doing the C-section because I know how long it usually takes, and it was over like 20 minutes. So as I'm going in, I see them wheeling a baby out. So I'm asking them, can I go back to where the baby is? Because they was cleaning her up, and they said, yeah. So as I was gowning up, I seen the lady stop with my baby. It was another baby next to her. She pushed the cart. And as I was coming in, she said, follow me. This is your baby. And I said, no, it's not. I said, that's my baby right there. And she looked at me. I said, yeah, that's it. I just seen you stop next to this one. And it was the older lady too. And she said, no, sir. I said, ma'am, I'm telling you. I said, you can look at the tent. I said, I know it's a newborn baby, but I'm African American. My wife is Middle Eastern. I said, that baby is full white. I said, this is my baby right here. If I would have took my
Wow.
eyes off, my baby would have got switched because they didn't put the tag or the name band on the babies yet. They was cleaning her off.
Oh wow.
Right. That's
And
crazy.
the protocol from the hospital I came from, as soon they put the tag on, regardless if the baby is clean or not.
Hmm.
They didn't even put the safety tag on, let alone the name tag on.
Wow.
Um, the only thing that was labeled on the bed was on the inside, and I didn't see that. I just seen when she first entered the room, and as I was putting the gown on, I seen her push next. It was two. When she approached, it was a baby already there. I don't know if the baby was already clean or going to get clean. I just seen the curt, and as I was putting like my, scrub hat on, when she washed her hands And when she turned, she went to the first bed instead of the second bed. And when I seen her pushing saying follow me, I'm like, that's not my baby.
Mm-hmm.
But if I didn't see that, she would have made a mistake. And it was an older lady, but still, that's no excuse. But what you're saying can happen because I wit and it kind of freaked me out. And when I was telling my wife, like anything my child went for after that, I was right there with her.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's a good
And
thing
you,
that you caught it because you could have been a whole lifetime show, a whole
yeah.
lifetime
And
movie.
oh, no, I would have. It would have been noticeable because, like I said, that baby was it didn't have no tint at all. And I'm legally
Wow.
blind, so I can't see that well, but I seen good enough that day.
Right,
Um,
right.
But you know
Wow.
what? If you caught that, how many other parents have not? How many times have she done that and made a mistake, and people may not know to this day or found out later? You know
Right,
what I'm saying? That's the
right.
scary
mhm.
part.
Yes. That is the
How many
scary
times
part.
has she done that and mixed up babies that quick?
And you know that's what I tell people. Like these people in these professional jobs, we forget that they're human. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
because of the position they got, we hold them with a high regard, but they're human. I've seen so many doctors and nurses make mistakes in the hospital. Um, it's just a reminder that we're all human. We're all susceptible to errors. So um, we have to do our we have to we are ultimately responsible, and it's different things that we have to consider. And I think that's another reason why the DNA test is so important, because just like you said earlier, together, uh, it's just human error,
Right.
and just to solidify and make sure, So I don't see why it should be a problem on any
Right.
side.
Right. Give me 1 second. The word. Everybody that's coming in, Miss April Showers is not on the live. She started off, but there's a very terrible thunder and lightning storm where she is, so she's allowing it to stream. So everybody, prayers up for Miss April, because we definitely don't want her to be affected, sitting in the dark or anything like that. So if you can, please pray for her. Oh, there go my boy, Renrock. Renrock, I'm gonna drop the link. Thank you for letting me do that little commercial break. The word. Come up, Renrock. I'm gonna drop the link. Yeah, so go ahead and finish because what you're saying is really, that's why I like listening to you, and I'm grateful I got a chance to talk to you because you come with a whole lot of wisdom and knowledge.
I appreciate that. That's humbling. Um, it truly is. Uh, it's just experience and just really learning from the good and the bad. And like I said, the hospital, these people are human beings too, and they're susceptible to mistakes. But we forget that because of the titles they hold. Um, and it's just in our society now, I just believe that, we are sensitive to a lot of things. And those things that we are sensitive to, it's just my opinion. I don't think we need to be. I think it prevents us from growing a lot of times. Like even like this conversation is good because, like I said, this shouldn't be something that separates people, and it might it might prevent make people think twice about putting babies on other people because that was almost done to me in my youth.
Really?
I messed up. Yeah, I messed around with this girl, and then after that, like, we did it one time, and I ain't see her for like 4 years. And she popped up over my mom's house, and when I came over there, she was with the baby, and I'm looking like, "How old is the baby?" She said 4, and I'm like, "Okay, when was the baby born?" Well, it was impossible for me to be the father because she conceived the baby almost a year after we messed around. And when I did the math, yeah, and but me being young and scared at the same time, okay, okay, go get another one. Um, me being young and she popped up over my mom's house, my mom looking at me, so I'm like, and like the first day, I'm like, okay, I messed up, I did it. And then, I started thinking, and I'm like, hold on, no, we need to go get a DNA test. And I called a couple of my buddies, And come to find out, it was one of their babies. But he was,
Oh,
yeah, he wasn't, he was in the street. I was working a job, and yeah, so he couldn't pay child support, and I could. So, um, yeah, she tried to pin it on me 3 years, almost 4 years later, though. But when we did the math, after he said that, I told my mom, we sat down, did the math. Like she got pregnant 3 months after we, messed around, and it took her a minute, like 4 or 5 days to come clean.
oh wow. And see, that's why I'm glad like they're trying to implement that, because it'll stop all that madness. So, you want to chime in on it, Renrock? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? How's everybody? Good afternoon to the chat and all that. With this, I just think that the police they just going back on these guys' lyrics and stuff and trying to catch them on these RICO charges, and I don't think that's
Oh
really.
no, I'm sorry, I took it off. We were talking about they were talking this one YouTuber was talking about last night. I keep forgetting his name, but he was talking about do you think that they should make DNA testing mandatory after a woman gives birth to a child? And we were chiming in on it and giving reasons why. And the word was just saying how one of his friends ended up messing with a girl he knew, and she tried to come back 4 years later and say that it was his child and it wasn't. So what is your take on that?
Yeah, I agree with that because for the simple fact, it's a lot of guys out here that are fathering kids that ain't even their blood child. You know what I mean? And
Uh-huh.
I think a lot of that. I think they really should keep the DNA because I mean you want to give people freedom of choice. And I believe in freedom of choice. So if a person gets raped, so to say, and they don't want
Okay.
to have that baby, then they stuck with that. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in freedom of choice. I believe in freedom of if you getting raped, if you have been a rape victim or something like that, then I believe they should give you that freedom to do that.
No, but I know if you're a rape victim, I know we shouldn't be saying that word because they don't want us to say that. But we're saying that, like, for instance, just throwing it out there, I say, "Oh, Renrock is my child's dad," and they try to put you on child support based on my word, and you know that you never touched me. So now you paying child support for somebody child that you never touched. So that's why we're saying that I think that they should implement. But what I want to ask Miss Renrock is, would you be insulted if you were in a childbearing age and your husband asked you to do a DNA test on your newborn child?
No, I wouldn't. If that's what he needed to feel right about it, then that's what he can
That's
do.
Lady
But
C
I
chiming in.
know that I can't. I know for a fact that I know who my baby's daddy was. You know what I'm saying? So that I still think that you should give them the right to check and find out if they are or not.
Okay, D dropping dime said no. So D, I don't know if you want to come up. I dropped the link, and I want to know why you said no, because the word had said something very, very, very interesting and true. And what he was saying is, we as the carrier of that child to bring that child forth in the earth, we know 100% that that's our child. But a man don't know 1,000% if that's his child. He's only going on the word from the mouth of the woman. And what if you have a woman that have all her ducks lined up and you don't see no signs at all of her cheating, and she went out there and had a relationship on you and ended up with a baby, and then you're taking care of this kid, and you find out 18 years later, after paying child support, putting this kid through school, doing all the things that parents do, it's not your child. So this can help avoid a lot of these Maury Povich shows, a lot of these paternity court cases that's going on, because these women do know who they slept with, when they slept with, And now you want to, because the dude that you slept with don't want to be with you no more. Well, I'll take the sucker that, will believe that it's their baby.
Well,
I mean,
together, I got a reverse story for you where the mother requested the DNA test. I got a friend, and he had two brothers, but they had different dads. And the mother and the father are both dark skinned. Both of the babies came out light skinned. So automatically the father thought it wasn't his child. When they did the DNA test, both of them was 100% his kids. So now we're talking about recessive genes that was in both of them, and both of
right,
the children came out with the recessive genes of less melanin. So even though both parents were dark skinned, both of their kids together came out light skinned. And by that, he like, nah, it's not possible because we're both dark. But the mother knew 100% and said, no, just do the DNA test. And
right,
both of the kids was his. So, I mean, so I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, DNA is, I don't know, I don't want to get into the whole spill of DNA, but it is possible, to have recessive genes and have incidents like that where the kid might not look like the father at all, and that will draw a question, and a way to eliminate that is to simply have a DNA test.
right, right. I totally understand. I dropped the link for these dropping dimes to come up because they said nah, and I want to know why no. And it's not to say that you don't trust that child. I don't know if they heard your story, but the nurse almost switched out the words child. you know, it was an honest mistake, but it should have never been a mistake. We're humans, like he said. So he would have if he hadn't have paid attention, he would have been taking home a child that was not his. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, let me drop the link again. Yeah, so a lot of stuff could be avoided, not just to say, oh, you're not the father, but like I said, it could prevent babies that were accidentally switched out. Like you come in the room and say, well, he's not the father. And he know and you know that you guys are not in, there's no infidelity. So you say, okay, as a woman, I'd be like, hey, test me. And you test me, it comes back, I'm not the mama. He ain't the daddy. So there's a problem. There's a big problem. And that can also help with, children being switched at birth by accident. And sometimes you never know by mistake. I mean, on purpose. You never know what's in the mind of people. I dropped the link for you. We don't know the minds of people unless we're in their head. You know what I'm saying? People are mean today. They do some of the most outrageous stuff.
I mean, unfortunately, like I said, in our society, we feel like these people with these titles, that they're held to a high standard, but they normal people. Like some of the stuff, um, I'm not gonna say a name or nothing, but I worked in the OR surgery. I seen surgeons do lines of cocaine before the surgery.
You
So,
kidding me?
no, I'm dead serious, 100% serious. And
What?
it's not uncommon, man. If you only knew what is that show? I couldn't even watch it. Was it Grey's Anatomy? Like a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff that go on. I mean,
Yep.
in there, like people having sex at work,
Mhm.
co-work, a lot of that stuff go on.
Mhm.
Um, like these are normal people. Normal people. My
Yeah.
my
They drink
cousin had
too.
a yeah, my cousin had a lawyer who he paid crack cocaine to defend him. He paid
Wow.
his lawyer in crack cocaine. So these titles are just titles, and these people are normal people, and they have the same issues that we have. They just went to school and got a piece of paper. That's
Right.
all. I mean, they're
Agreed.
they're not. Yeah, they're not superheroes. They're not um, deities. No, they're normal people,
Mhm.
and some of them just they messed up worse than what we are. Like
Wow.
I said, one of the surgeons, he's actually a top neurologist in the country, top five
Mm,
neurologist in the country, and one of the biggest coke addicts I ever met in my life. But
wow.
but I let him do surgery on me because he a bad boy. But yeah, these people they got the same issues that we have. Um,
Hold
susceptible
on a
to the
second.
same
I'm
dramas
sorry.
and everything.
I don't mean to cut you off. Hold on 1 second. Deez, are you seeing the link? I'm dropping it, and I don't know what device you're on, but I keep dropping the link. If you need help, let me know, and we can figure out why you're not seeing that link. But go ahead.
Is
I'm so
he in?
sorry. The word. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you okay? Is he in April's chat? Because that's where I was at earlier, and I had to come to your
Oh,
chat to get the link. Yeah, I had to come to your chat to get the link.
oh, you have to come to my chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, D.
Yeah.
He said you have to come to my channel, and together we break chains production,
Right.
and then when you come to my channel, then you'll be able to get the link from my chat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting that. I apologize to anyone that wants to come up. Please come to my channel when I drop the link. But go ahead. The word, I apologize for that. I didn't know. I'm glad you said that because I didn't know.
Yeah,
Hey,
because
Nick,
Yeah.
what's
when you go live on yours,
up?
if you're the person that started the live and somebody attaches to you or whatever, whichever way they do it, what happens is everybody is in your chat, but they're not like physically in your chat. They're in somebody else's chat, in the other person's chat.
Okay.
So it will not do links. They have to come to yours to do the link.
Okay. I want to say salute to Nick. That's my buddy.
Hello, hello.
When I first it's called Insuline We Trust News. He keeps up with all the latest hip hop information news and stuff that's going on. And you guys go over there. He's really good. He gives straight facts. He don't make up stuff. Everything that he say, he got receipts. So go over there and say hello, tell them together, say what up.
Well, you're gonna have to give me the link for that because you know what I told you. I can't even get in the chat right now.
Okay, I'll take care of that.
All right,
Yeah,
thank
so
you.
D's dropping, please come into my chat if you want to, and because I can drop the link again. And hopefully you'll be able to grab it. But I'm so sorry. The word, go ahead and continue. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. I'm actually trying to grab your link now and put it in Miss April's chat.
Thank you so much. I
Real quick.
appreciate you.
No problem.
Well, even if they hold on, if you put it in April's chat, April has to bring them up. And if she's not watching, she's not going to be able to bring them up.
Oh no, I was putting together live
In
into the
yours.
chat. Yeah, I'm gonna say I can put the link to the live in April's chat.
No, no, no. What I'm saying is if you put the link in April's chat, they'll go up to April's panel. And if she's not watching, then it's not going to work. They actually need to be physically in togethers.
Yeah, I didn't know if he had Together's channel, so I was
Oh,
just
you're
gonna put
putting
the
his
link
link,
to the
not the
live in there.
actual StreamYard. Okay, my
Oh
bad.
no, not the actual. Yeah. Oh no, you good.
My
Okay,
bad.
so that's the link to the live. So if you click on that link, it should bring you right
Bring you over
to
here. Yeah,
Together. Yeah, it should
yeah.
bring you right over there.
Right.
Listen,
Yeah, so go ahead and finish what you were saying. The word.
yeah, that's a yeah, it's okay, baby. Yeah, come on. Yeah, that's a yeah, he mad at me right now. But yeah, I just we you just need to understand that these professional people are humans too, and yeah, we supposed to trust them, but we still have to take um we still have to be careful and protect ourselves, especially when it comes to things like our kids and our health, because like the stuff if you just the stuff I experienced in 15 years working in the hospital, you wouldn't even believe me after the stuff. You probably will, but the stuff that go on, it just proved to me that, like I said, we all human. No
Right.
one is above air.
Right. That's true. And if you think about it this way as well, celebrities, they do all kinds of stuff that they don't really should not be doing, just like anybody else on the earth, okay? They do the DR word, DR word. And they do stuff that the doctors do. Anybody with a certificate does not make them not human. That's the same thing as celebrities. They're humans and they do their thing as well. So
Mm-hmm.
so doctors, the only difference is the doctors are certified to do surgeries or to, help you help you to heal or whatever. So they're over here doing drugs. That could cause an issue for you because think about it. They make a mistake, leave something in your body while they're doing surgery. That's a problem. But they
You-
are still human and humans do make mistakes. I get that part. But if it takes it ends up putting somebody unalive because of the mistake they did because they're over there doing that stuff, then I find that that's kind of troublesome right there, okay? But
Right.
celebrities, yes, they're human and they do stuff like that too, but that's not hurting us, that's hurting themselves because they can't do nothing to us.
Right.
They're
So
not opening our chest, they're not opening our bodies and taking things out and putting things in and forgetting the tools and stuff in your body. They're just not doing that. But
hello
the doctors
everyone.
are.
Right, but you know what? That when he said that, I didn't think that they went as far as doing
Oh, yeah.
Coca-Cola. But let me tell you something that happened to me. So God. So I deal with, I don't say I have it because I don't claim it, but I deal with asthma. So this one particular time they sent me to a specialist and I drove almost 2 hours to get to this specialist, and this was supposed to be a really good specialist, lung specialist. And so I get to the office, I sign in, you're a new patient, you have to do all the paperwork, yada, yada, yada. So I get in the office and he's still late. And I'm like, okay, so we've been sitting in this office for like an additional 20 minutes and I don't understand what's going on. So he walks, he walks towards the door and he falls into the door. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And so he comes in and it's like he's trying to be extra careful. And so he's like, so you're you? I'm like, yeah, it's me. And I'm like, you all right? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. So he was like, what brings you in today? And I'm looking like, dude, did you even get a chance to read my chart? And so I'm saying, I'm dealing with asthma, short of breath, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And so the next thing, me and my friend sitting there, he's telling me, well, you have to start taking these deep breaths. He was taking a super long, deep breath. I'm talking about a person with healthy lungs type of deep breath. And I'm looking at him, and the guest that's with me is looking at him and me. And then he said, and then you have to exhale. And I'm looking, and my friend starts counting like, okay, by that time she'd be dead. She's coming in here with lung issues, and you are talking to her like she's a pro swimmer.
Right.
What is wrong with you? And I guess because he was so intoxicated, we later found out he was so intoxicated, he got frustrated with my friend getting angry. He stumbled, turned around, went back toward the door, ran into the door, and held onto the door and stumbled down the hall. I grabbed my purse, my coat, and I was up out of there. So you are not kidding when you say they do stuff. I only experienced the alcohol, not the Coca-Cola.
Right.
Yeah, even the psychiatrists need psychiatrists. So,
And that's true.
yeah, I mean, like I said, they humans, and that was eye opening.
Yeah, that scared me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you can't give me not a piece of medicine. You can't give me nothing. I don't want. Matter of fact, I reported him, and I thought that I was the only one. But even the staff was like, "What the heck?" what did he have during his lunch break? I'm like, I'm out of here. I skirted up out of there so quick, it wasn't even funny. I was like, what a wasted 2 hour trip.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah,
Um,
that was very weird. So you are
yeah,
right that
Mhm.
they do make mistakes. They do have a life like we do, but we think that because these people are celebrities and doctors that they don't have the same human problems that we do.
But okay,
sometimes they got even more.
I have something to say. I understand that they're human and they make mistakes. I understand that. But not when they're deliberately doing things to cause them to make mistakes. Mistakes happen on an accident. But if you're doing a mistake while you're doing the Coca-Cola and the drinky poos, yeah, that's a problem. That's not an accidental anything. To me, it's not accidental. If you're doing something deliberately, that's not an accident that you just put somebody unalived or caused them to become paralyzed or uh, took a part that you shouldn't have cut or instead of just doing the gallbladder, you cut the pancreas. No, that's not an accident. I'm sorry. When you're on something and you know you got surgery to do, yeah, that's deliberately done. Like you, nobody made you drink anything or made you drink the Coca Cola or do or sniffle.
I mean,
I'm trying to come up with different things to say about what it is.
but you know what? You know, you're absolutely right. And that, again, that's why I always try to remind people that these people are humans, you know?
Yeah,
Um, so, like you said, it's not an accident, but just because they have a title, that don't mean they have a high moral or values or principle. Just
right,
because they get a piece of paper or a
right,
title or a status, they are still humans. I mean, you can
right,
have someone together probably has more morals and values than half of the people in politics right now. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
I mean, we ain't even gonna touch on that, but I always just tell people though, don't put these people on the pedestal. Appreciate the craft and the work that they put into it, but just remember that they're human. You know,
Right. I understand that part. They are human. Even I'm saying they're human, but when you do things that cause you to make mistakes, not because you're human or because oops, I'm sorry, I accidentally touched the wrong part in the in your body while I'm doing surgery, but you actually did something to cause you to make that mistake. I cannot forgive that if I am paralyzed or I am unalive and my kids have to be without their mother because this doctor decided they wanted to do a little, drinky poo or do the Coca-Cola.
no, we saying the same thing. I'm just trying to say it nicer than you.
Yeah, I'm straight. I'm sorry. I got to go straight forward with that.
No, no,
Doctors,
you have
if we got any doctors in there drinking, you ain't got no business up in this chat. No, just kidding. Just messing.
to.
You better be quiet before they get your information and try to purposely do surgery on you.
I'd have to go to the doctor to see what I need to get done.
You are a hot mess, girl. Hello to everybody that just came in.
Hello,
Again, Miss
hello.
April Showers is streaming, but she is paying close attention to her weather. They're having
Yeah,
severe thunderstorms and stuff like that. So prayers up to her. And
yes,
after the live, I'm gonna definitely try to call and see, how she's doing. But we were gonna
right.
be talking about um, Young Thug, but the conversation that what is his name again? D what? D Love?
The truth.
D Truth. He asked a question last night about the DNA question that we were talking about. And all night I tossed and turned and was thinking about it, and it would not leave my brain for nothing. So I wanted to talk about it too. And it's not like I'm not trying to take his content, but it was something that really, really had me tossing and turning and thinking about all night long. And I just wanted to, weigh in on it too. But also, another thing I wanted to ask you, the word, because I know how you pay attention to a lot of stuff. What are your thoughts, if you have any, about the young black male that went to the wrong door and that older gentleman, shot him? What do you think about that?
I was trying not to get emotional about that because when I was doing real estate, I had went to a house where their contract expired, and we can tell online when a house is available for a new agent to go try to list it. And as I approached this house, I knocked on the door. It was actually in my neighborhood, a nice suburb in Michigan. And when I approached the door, I got this weird feeling. And when the guy answered it, he pointed a gun right at me and said, "Get the F off my porch."
Oh my
And
God.
I backed up and yeah, I had a suit on and everything. So briefcase in my hand and everything. So when I seen that story, I got a little, emotional because I was thinking like, that could have happened to me. The guy when he opened the door, the barrel of the gun is right there in my face.
Oh my
Um,
God.
and it was another story like that in Michigan a couple years ago, where this young man got into a car accident and went to the first house he seen, knocked on the door, and they got shot through the door with a shotgun. Um,
Oh my gosh.
and
Wait, hey Tracy. Wait, are you talking about the one with the little boy where he went to go pick up his brothers, or are you talking about a different one? I'm sorry, I didn't.
the ones that she's talking about is the one when he picked up his brothers. His
Right,
mom sent him to go pick up his brother,
right.
but it was like 6 or 7 years ago. This was on the news. The man actually just got convicted for the one that happened in
Wow.
Michigan. This kid got into a car accident. Well, no, I think it was a female. I think she might have was trying to escape from someone, jumped out of the car and went to the
Mhm.
door, and they shot her through the door.
That is
I'm gonna see if I can find the story and I'll do an update because I think it was
okay.
2 years ago he just got convicted on that. But that story and um, like I said, me personally, I don't believe in division. Like my whole family is mixed, but you have to know where you at, because
Mhm.
unfortunately there are hateful people in this
Yes,
world who do look at color,
yes.
and especially as a black male, I mean, always we're a threat. Just our stature. Like I said, I had a suit on with a briefcase in
Mhm.
my hand. Like, what am I gonna do to you, bro? And you just pointing this 357 Magnum, and I know guns. I seen the barrel of it and know exactly what it was. And I was almost afraid. Like, I didn't want to move because even moving backwards, I didn't know where this guy's head was.
Right.
So any movement. So when he said leave, I just walked back because I was afraid to turn my back. I didn't know what he was gonna do. So I backed up and then I left. Um, but unfortunately, as black males, we have to be cautious. And you have to know where you at. Um,
Right.
you just have to be aware 24/7, because that's our society today, and
Right.
it's hard. These conversations are hard to have because people, when you talk about them, people automatically associate themselves. Like if I was to use the term racist, because a person is a white skin color, stop. They automatically associate themselves to the people that I'm talking about, and I know for a fact all white people aren't racist, but we have to admit that some are, just like
Right.
some black
Yes,
people
they are.
just don't like white people because they're white, not because they did anything to them. There are people like that,
Right.
um, and until we extract our emotions out of these conversations, we will have the same problem because it's never going to be fixed until we talk about it. And it was one of my mentors is he a white guy, older white guy, served in the military here in Nurse Anesthetist now. And he told me, he said, if a white person is ever afraid to talk to you about um, racism, that's probably because they're racist.
Mm.
He said, because he said, I hate it because I have to He said, just like you have to prove every day that you're not uh, the stereotype that they have on black people, I have to do the same. He said, I have to make sure that black people feel comfortable around me so they don't think I'm racist. He said, so the same problems you have is the same problems I have. He said, me talking to you about racism won't help. I have to go home and talk to my family, the people that look like me about it. If I truly want to make a change, he said, me talking to a black person about racism is not going to help. I have to go talk to the white people, just like you have to go talk to the black people.
Wow.
Well, how's that going to fix anything?
Because me talking to a white person about racism who's not racist is not going to solve anything. You see what I'm saying? Because
Right.
that person is only the only point they can take is defense of themselves. They're not racist, so
Hmm.
me talking to them about racism is like
So doesn't
me
that
me.
kind of separate them as well? Like, divide them into white people talk about white people and black people talk about black people? Like, I mean, or talk to them about the racism, I'm saying, not about them, but racism. Isn't that kind of like still dividing people?
I don't think it is because, for instance, just say if we had two white people in a room and
Hmm.
one white person think all black people are bad, and the other white person thinks that no, they're not all bad. Just like any other race or group of people, there's good
Hmm.
and bad. If that
Right.
white person can convince that other white person, um, I think it'll be easier because they can associate. They have the same experiences in life.
Hmm.
That's like this, for instance. Like I tell, this is what I don't believe in what they call white privilege. I believe in white benefit of the doubt. I don't believe in white privilege because I know white people who are poor, poorer than me, who have
Hmm.
struggled worse than I have,
Hmm.
who my life is better than theirs. They have no privilege. But when I say benefit of the doubt, this is what I mean. If me and a white person is walking down the street with a hood over our head, I'm gonna
Hmm.
be deemed threatening before they are. So to
Right.
me, that's what the privilege is.
Yeah, I
But
yeah, I totally agree with that. They are like that. That's just like with that child that went up to that house and
mhm,
was, he's, thank God he's still, alive. He went back home and everything. But the fact that it was a white guy who shot through that door, what if the tables were turned and it was a black guy and shot the white kid? You know
Oh,
what
his
would
ass
happen,
would have
right?
been in jail before the break of dawn, honey.
Exactly. I mean, like instantaneously, he would be in jail. That's not fair, but this is how they do things.
Right.
this is how society is set up.
Yeah,
Um,
it's true.
and that's a whole nother conversation. But it's literally
Yeah.
in the laws. It's literally in the laws. Uh, I'm not even gonna get into that on your, but yeah, you have to understand the law of the sea, and you'll truly understand how I'm gonna say non-melanated people are treated versus people with melanin. Um,
Mm,
Right.
so. Um,
true.
but like I said, we can we can fight, we can protest. It's not going to change unless all of us come together and make it change. It
Are
can't
you
Yeah.
just
reading
be
the
one group.
chat? Are you reading the chat? The word?
No, hold on one second.
Okay. Diva, if you want to come up, you would have to go to Together We Break Chains Production, and I could drop the link, and
Okay.
you could come up and you can express why you feel the way that you do. So you
Yeah.
have to go to
Everybody has
my.
an opinion, and we don't discriminate against anybody's opinion.
No, I don't, because you know what? Just because I like something, you may not like it. That doesn't mean
Exactly.
that nobody's wrong. That's just how I
Exactly.
rock. I don't care what your opinion is, as long as it's
Exactly.
respectful and you're getting your point across. I want everybody to be heard. I want everybody's opinion to be
Yes.
expressed, because that's a big thing that I see. Not everybody gets a chance to say. Hold on a second. You know what, Marlene? I'm gonna do yours after the word comes back and read this one. So I am going to be putting your post up there. That's why I'm just letting them talk so that I can pay attention to the chat as well. So
Okay,
I
but
thank
please
you,
stop.
New in the word, for holding this down while I pay attention to the chat. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
okay, okay. Come on.
Oh,
Kalaka, Kalaka. Thank you.
I don't know what
So,
language you're speaking, but I like it.
oh, Syrian.
I'm not. Don't even ask me to try, because you be like, this girl can't say nothing.
Well, I've been with my wife 10 years, so I picked a lot of it up. I know more with like I can listen and understand more than I can speak. But
You ain't special to word because you know another language.
I know three.
That's me being a hater. That's my hater voice.
I can speak a little Tagalog too.
You know what? I don't want to talk to you right now. Now let me step in. Okay, so
But
let me read these. Hold on, you guys. Don't say. I'm gonna read the chat, the text that came in. Okay, so um the first comment from Diva Time Dance Company was they can be persuaded to protest, when you were saying that not every white person is prejudiced. And then she went on to type, during the George Floyd protests, white people were getting their butts kicked as well. You know what I'm saying? Which is true. And then she said, please, bro, don't deny that privilege. Um, I guess she was going to say doesn't exist. I'm not sure. And then Life with Marlene. Hopefully, I'm not going too fast for you. Let me know. Life
oh
with
no, no, you
Marlene said there is also racism within race.
mhm.
I guess our own colorism. And then Diva said, "Together we break chains." We're so you have to go to my channel, Together We Break Chains Production, and once you go there, what is you knew that's your area.
What?
Diva wants to know how to do it.
Okay, so you need to come into Together We Break Chains production, and then you go ahead and just put a 2 and then GETHERWE separate then BREAK production PRODUCKITON. I spelled it wrong, I'm sure, but productions with a TIONS. Okay, productions.
Yeah, she forgot about my chain too.
I just did I? Together we break. Oh, my bad. Together we break chains, girl. I'm trying to say it so fast that I just skipped the whole thing. I know how to spell, y'all, but I'm just trying to hurry up and do it. Anyway, so yeah, together we break chains production, and then you'll be able to come up in here. Earlier, he was able to drop her link in there, so if you could see her link in the chat for April, you'll be able to grab that and then be able to come into her live, and then come up on the panel with the drop of the.
Okay, she's here.
Stream.
Okay, hey.
It took me that long. I'm
Hello, how are
sorry.
you all this evening?
Hello.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so I just really wanted to bring up the point that the gentleman that was speaking and basically saying that he didn't believe that white privilege really actually exists. I wanted to explain something. And I mean, I'm a history major. I attend the University of Memphis, and I'm a dual major, English and history. And the thing is, it's not so much that racism is never going to end, or in which it probably won't. It's America's curse, unfortunately. It all tracks back to how our nation was formed, unfortunately. And we would hope that, it's 2023, that by 2023, surely people have, grown mentally and spiritually, and surely enough they can be saved. Unfortunately, like my grandmother told me during the George Floyd protest, she was like, baby, we've been protesting for 80 years. She 86. She like, I was protesting back when I was a little girl. And she's like, nothing ever, change moves slowly. The thing is, racism is all built into our system. Just the system would have to actually be torn down in order to get rid of it. And that's how I feel. But I mean, we can always all encourage each other to do the right thing and to be better. Right. However, some people are going to be crap. It ain't nothing nobody can do about it. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. I work a customer service job. And the people I do customer service for live in Los Angeles, California. They don't even live in the South. But a man called me the N-word the other day. He got right on the phone. His wife was on there talking to me about something that was dealing with her business. And he was like, why are you on the phone with this Nigger? Okay? Wow. And that happened for real. Yeah, that actually happened. And, me being the person I am a professional. What I am not is a Nigger. Okay? So I didn't go off. I didn't hang up. I let my supervisor know it happened. My supervisor said, give the abuse call thing and hang up immediately. No, I did not. Like a professional, I stayed on the phone with that lady because that lady needed a doctor's appointment. And I finished it. And she apologized to me 12 times before the end of the call about her husband. She even tried to tell me he worked construction and he'd be tired in the evening and grouchy, and she's so sorry. But my thing is, he's only being him. Right. But he's the ignorant
for that. I'm sorry, there's no excuse for that. I don't care how tired you are. I don't care if you've been drinking. I don't care if you've been doing some stuff you ain't got no business doing. I don't care. There's no excuse. I hate that word with a diligence.
Look, y'all, she said, honey, don't be like that. You're being rude. I was like, rude to say the least, but okay. Wow. But I finished her appointment. It took me about 10 minutes. When I got done with that lady was singing my praises and thanking me and so sorry what my husband said. Oh, you are the nicest person I've ever talked to in a customer service role. Okay? Mm-hmm. But that tells me that this nation, the stain on this nation, which is racism, coming from slavery, it's never, well, I won't say never because there's always hope. However, until America decides to deal with the systemic problem,
right,
it's never going to get resolved because it's deeply buried in our laws. Some states have not even ratified the 16th and the 15th Amendment. Like Mississippi, they got a lot of amendments they ain't even ratified in their state constitution. I'm just saying. So it has to be done eventually, maybe. But you know what they are predicting to happen? Right. They're basically saying that by the year 2050, there's only going to be one race in America anyway.
What is that?
Everybody's going to be mixed with everything. There will not be any purebred white people anymore. So I'm just saying that's ultimately where it's going. They already outvoted, the racist ones are already outvoted in Congress. They smile.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. There's a video that recently took place, and there was a black woman, and she went to, I think it was the Best Western Comfort Inn, one of them hotels, and she was there for a birthday, and she was going to get breakfast, because we all know them hotels be having some banging breakfast. Don't tell me they don't. They be having some banging breakfast, man. You want to like put a tent outside.
Somebody call her to get to the back of the line.
No. So the lady was the only one in the lobby. So the black lady walked in with her camera, like showing, like, "Oh, this is nice." And then so the white lady was like, "What are you doing here?" She said, "You need to mind your business." So it was a conversation, and the white woman walked up into the black lady's space and spit in her face. Girl, all you heard was knuckles flying and that white lady talking about stop,
Now,
stop.
see, that is that right there, spitting on somebody. That is actually violence. That look, I would rather you hit me than spit on me. I
That
would
part.
rather you do any other thing than spit on me or piss on me. I would
I'd rather you
look,
slap the dog taste out my mouth than
you
let
can
you spit
slap
on
me,
me.
but don't you put your
Fluid.
mucus on me. Yeah, none of your fluid. I don't want none of your fluids.
Yeah.
That's what I'm fighting over. I would, if somebody spit, because I'm gonna tell you something all about respect, all about it. I give it and I expect it. So
That's
you
right.
disrespect me like that, man? Because that's like a disrespect. That's like a whole entire another thing. It ain't just somebody being mean or crude or rude. That's disrespect. And
Yeah.
you don't put your fluids on me.
Yeah. That's
Man.
Can I
actually
leave y'all
assault
with?
and battery. And for a while, they
It
started
is a
saying that
side
it was
battery.
right, and it's also they also consider that
Hate crime.
hate crime. But there's another one. We don't want to say the word in here. They unalive you. They talk about the AIDS system, this type of thing, and when you spit at somebody that you can get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Are you talking
yeah,
about the Bud Light? The Bud Light?
it can unalive you. That
Oh,
they can
they
unalive you.
can rock your snot box.
Right. So they consider that to be the word that means the M word.
Wow.
Deliberate M word. Yeah, that the MU word.
Right. And see, that's what I'm saying. Then I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Trump didn't help the situation. Trump made it okay. Cause there used to be a time, man. Do you know that people would cringe so on racist things that like they would I'm talking about Caucasians would go running high like, oh no, I'm not a racist. In fact, they would cover themselves up with sheets so you don't know that they racist. They just,
You know,
but Trump made it okay. It's okay. It's
he made
okay
what okay? He made what okay?
being racist or
That's
showing your
not
racist views
that's not
public.
you know what? That's one of the things, and I'm not here to debate or that's why I don't like getting into politics because one of the things that my dad told me to stop believing what everybody else is saying and how everybody is portraying certain things. And I'm not debating you. Like I said, your opinion is your opinion. I respect it 1000%. But I'm going to say something. Before we need to go back and look, before Trump became the president, he won like hip hop awards, this, that, and the third. And when he became president, there are certain things that I didn't like, and there are certain things that I did like. And they want to keep calling Trump a racist, saying that he don't like black people. But I'm gonna tell you something: if you get off of here once we finish this live, and there's a black woman right now, she ended up sneaking into Trump Tower, and it's a video. She's disabled and everything. This is her real life story, and she snuck into Trump Tower and hoarded inside of one of his apartments or houses or whatever you call it. And so the housekeeper came in and saw her and told her to get out. She wouldn't leave. So they went and got the staff. She wouldn't leave. They got security. She wouldn't leave. They called the police. She still wouldn't leave. Now, her story is still on YouTube. They called Donald Trump. This is a black woman he never met. He came in and he saw her and he told them, "What is the problem?" And they told him, he told them, "Leave her alone." She has been living rent free in Trump Tower for a number of years. He sends her fresh cut flowers every single week. This black woman, he don't know nothing about her. This is before he became president, and he's still doing it to this day. Not only that, he makes sure that this woman eats every day. And he had a conversation. She told me, he said, "Pay me back when you can." And she said, "You know I can't pay you back." He said, "Then oh well, then it's settled." And then he had a lot of different meetings. They really scrubbed the internet. A lot of stuff that was on there, where Donald Trump were meeting with people, Black American people, they scrubbed that stuff off the internet. And at the time, I had a very strong feeling to save it. And I have a separate hard drive from my computer. I have all that stuff.
Okay, so excuse me, and I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I was sitting here just patiently letting you go on and on and on and on and on. The day that I knew that that man right there was a full-blooded racist was the day that in Charlotte, North Carolina, when he got up there and said that there are great people on both sides. With them folks out there, Jews will not replace us. No, ma'am. You know what? And it's good you said you don't like the debate about politics. Maybe we just believe different things. But I have seen all I've known Trump. I knew Trump daddy. And Trump daddy was in the KKK. In case you didn't know. Look it up. No. Because he can do some nice things for Black people. When the Central Park Five was out there in jail, not because they did anything wrong, because they were innocent. They got vindicated. Trump was out there advocating for them to stay locked up. They ought to get these, you know what's, off the street. So you can convince yourself. But like you said, I'm not going to get into no debate because I really hate Trump. And baby, we can go all night.
And you have a right.
I don't want to even do that. So I'm going to leave y'all little thing.
You have a right to hate whoever you want. It's okay. That's fine. I respect that. That's why I say I don't get into politics like that. But I was just giving one example as to why we have to be careful with certain things that we listen to, depending on who's telling the story. Now, she said she knows that his dad was a KKK member. I respect that. I understand. I know that you feel the way you do. No love lost. I wish he wouldn't have left, but it's okay. But at the same time, if I grew up in a place where I grew up around nothing but KKK members, there's nothing that I could do. Of course, he has his own little stuff that's going on. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But what I'm talking about is we got to be careful, period. I'm not going to call somebody a racist outright because I've never seen anything. I'm not going to talk about nobody, but that's why I don't get into politics with people, because I don't want nobody to be mad and say, oh, you stupid or you crazy. You know, she said she don't do Trump. I respect that 100%. You have every right, sweetie, not to like Trump. You have your reason and I respect it. I don't care if you like Daffy Duck or Mickey Mouse, whoever. I have a relationship with you, the person. I don't know Donald Trump. I've never met Donald Trump. So I'm not going to battle with that. You get what I'm saying? We all have our own stuff that we do, you know, and we all have things that we like, we dislike. So I'm not going to get into that. I was just sharing a story. I wasn't trying to say that I'm 1,000% Trump support. I'm just saying we got to be careful. We can't, because if he was such a cold-blooded racist, he would have threw that woman out. That's all I'm saying. He will do nice things. Every politician will do something for somebody, you know. I mean, it's just when you catch them in the moment, you know. And I'm not trying to say nothing funny, but it's like when you try to talk about politics of certain, I'm not saying nothing to be rude, but you get shut down. That's why I don't like dealing with politics. That's why this is not a political page, you know. And I didn't know that was going to trigger her or the other people, you know, behind those. My story, I lost people, but it's okay. You know, I'm sorry. It is what it is. But back to us.
I'm gonna drop down, but can I leave y'all with something?
Yes, sir.
I tend to when I look at situations and try to solve problems, I have to eliminate my emotions to think logically. And when it comes to racism, I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Frances Chris Weisling.
I've never heard of that person. Can you tell me about her?
She's a doctor, a researcher, and she wrote the ISIS papers. When you get a chance, actually, I can, when I drop down, I'll put the link in your chat to the PDF to it.
Cool.
But, you know, I research a lot of, you know, of our historians. And she said, and it was my mentor, the white guy I was telling you about earlier. He explained to me what racism is. Um, it's a survival, you know. And for me to better understand racism, I had to understand this. As a black man, I am the biggest threat to the white population because I can simply engage in sexual activities and eliminate the whole white race in one generation.
Yep.
So it's really not about it's hate, but it's really more about survival. And that's not giving anyone an excuse to be racist or hateful towards anybody. But the more you understand that, the more we can understand why they people fight so hard to keep us down
Yeah.
and to belittle us. It's because it's war. It's genetic war, literally. Um, so just me understanding that, I was able to take my emotions out and identify the white people I can deal with or have relationships with, and the ones that I can't. And just understand, you got to understand your enemy. And the biggest threat to the enemy is the black male. That's why a lot of times in slavery, I don't know how familiar or in depth that y'all researched in slavery, but
Actually,
uh,
my family, I recently found out we have a family history book, and I am a descendant of slavery.
and you know, a lot of times the biggest, broadest slave, they castrated him just so he wouldn't have a chance to impregnate none of the white women. When
Hmm.
the boss or the master, a lot of the house slaves got castrated too. Um, so I mean, that's our biggest weapon is not even a physical weapon; it's us in general. So,
But did
that's
you
what.
know? Did you know that, like, when a slave master's wife would get pregnant by one of the slaves, they called the baby a sucker, and what they would do is they would untie the umbilical cord and let the baby bleed out.
Yep. And
Yep.
did you know the first generation of slaves that came over here? You know how they indoctrinated them? They cut the baby out of the mother and killed the mother and gave the baby to the child, gave the baby to a younger one. So that's how we lost our language, our history, um, and this whole concept of kids having kids. That's been done during since slavery. So
Hmm.
um, that's how they eliminated the elders.
Isn't
They
it
would.
also a part of why a lot? And I'm not trying to be rude, so any black man, please don't get upset with me, because right now I just want to say something real quick. I feel really strange after that encounter with Diva, because I feel like I insulted people that have a difference in opinion, and that was not my goal. You know what I'm saying? So I feel I'm not as I don't know how to explain it, but I'm really feeling kind of emotional and down after that encounter, because it seemed like all her energy was poured into being upset that I said something. So, anybody that was offended by me saying something, please forgive me. It wasn't my intention to insult anyone, and that's all I wanted to say. But go ahead, the word.
Uh, to be honest, I feel that's why, like, you know, I don't mean to give myself a shameless plug, but you know, the content on my channel is about emotions because to have these conversations and to actually have for the conversations to be fruitful, we have to disconnect from our emotions because we all have different opinions because of our personal experiences, our education. So we all will look at things differently, but the moment we put emotions into it, um, the fruit that bears from the tree is, is rotten. So I will say that. But yeah, I mean, to have these conversations, we have to, like you said, uh, it's us having relationships, not the people that we actually talking about. None of us know Donald Trump. So I mean, for us to get upset because one person feel like that, um, we can't do that. That's what's keeping us and preventing us from coming together, building with one another. Is
Right.
our emotional attachments to our own ideas and not willing to learn or hear other people out. So that's just something that we have to work on. I will say that. But you should not feel bad for expressing your opinion because I'm right with you. Honestly, I don't feel that. Um, I don't feel he's no worse than Joe Biden to me. I would prefer Trump over Biden. Um,
Right.
I mean, we can talk about the comments and the actions that he took with the 97 crime bill. He didn't believe in immigration. So, I mean, but we backed him. So, yeah, I mean, you do have to be careful because that story you told, do you know when it was originally told before she told it? They said that he kicked her out. And she came out and said, no, he did. I'm still here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's still there.
You know,
But she did a
what,
video and showed that she was still in the Trump Tower.
yeah. So, I mean, what I would say is Trump is a businessman. So I don't think he really cared about people of color as long as there was money involved. Honestly, that's just how I always looked at him. As long as you had money or could make him money or potential to get him money, he liked you. No matter what color, race, religion, creed, Trump is about the money. He's about the dollar. And you can't be mad at him for that. I don't think
But
he did a bad job.
she don't have anything. That's the whole thing she's saying. I have nothing. And he is
Right.
taking care of me.
And right, that's why I say I don't so like even the things that he say, um, is I don't think it's racism. I think it's money. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Like the ignorant comments he said, I think it's more about money. And like what she said, is good people on both sides. I equate that to being a politician. You
Right.
know, he was in the midst of being, he ain't want to piss nobody off. Um, is that's politics. I mean,
Yeah, I get it.
they were saying something about Jewish people, not black people. So I mean, why are black people getting mad at him? I don't know. It's
I
like
think
I
it's
said, everybody
offensive.
got different of opinion, um, and everybody got the right to feel the way they feel. I mean,
Yeah,
I
but it
don't.
was just so strong. Like the way she came at me was so strong. Like I felt like, why? I understand. I respect your opinion, and I'm trying to say something, and she just came at me like a bulldozer, and that was like, wait a minute, because see, I'm anybody that like outside, even you knew knows me outside of YouTube, and she knows I am not confrontational at all. And I felt like I had hurt somebody on YouTube, so I dedicated the entire video to apologize to her and other people that I actually felt like I affected along the way. That's just me. I don't have pride like that, and I don't like get riled up like that unless you hurt somebody that's innocent that I love, then you'll get that side of me. You get what I'm saying? But yeah.
I mean, yeah, unfortunately, but like I said, that's why I talk about emotions, especially having these conversations. Um, we can't have them. I mean, we 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 have to do our best to not be upset at other people's opinions. I mean, I felt that when I read that comment, I felt kind of some disdain when I read that comment, and it's
Yeah.
like, uh, I mean, I was going to actually break down the etymology of the word privilege itself and show that. Um, I mean, to even say white people are privileged, it has to
And
be
I wish
awarded
you
to.
would have. I wish you would have, because when we hear stuff like that, I would love for people like to drop receipts, because sometimes we regurgitate what we hear other people say and we think it's the gospel.
I mean, to even say, white people have privilege, it has to be awarded to all white people. You see what I'm saying? Um,
Right.
I mean, so that's just going to debunk that in itself, because there are white people who struggle just as bad as black people. And
Right.
if I don't take anything unless I can replace it with something, and that's why I gave you the benefit of the doubt. Um, because yeah, white people will get the benefit of the doubt before a black person would or any other person. But again, that goes back to the survival of the of the race of people. There at the top of the food chain in this country right now. So who do you think they're gonna pay you? So
Right.
I
But
mean,
look,
it's,
check this out. My dad is white. And I was telling you knew the story. It was funny when I was getting married. People were like, I didn't know your dad was white. And I walked up to my dad and everybody was listening. I'm like, Dad, you're white. I didn't know you were white. And I was turning them around. I'm like, oh my God, you're white. And everybody just fell out laughing. So my dad has been having it hard. So there's no white privilege. When they find out that he's married to my black mom, my dad gets pooped on just like the rest of everybody else.
and I
You
was
know?
about to say, yeah, I don't want to dox myself, but my last name is synonymous in South Carolina. Like my family owns a lot of land there, and that was because of our weight. Great is my it'll be four generations apart. He married a slave, and his family disowned him, but he took the land, and so that's how we got land. It's from our white great granddaddy.
Right.
So I mean, I got Native American blood too. My grandmother, who was a slave,
Same
was
here.
actually Cherokee and was labeled Negro. So that her identity was taken. So a lot of the problems that we have in America now as melanated people is because we don't actually have an identity. We call ourselves African American. African American, there's no continent named African American.
Right.
No other people has no identity or no connection to a continent besides us, and that's because Turtle Island was originally ours. So the only way they can take it and not compensate us is by stealing our identity.
Can I
So I
ask
can
you,
bring
what
the
do you,
truth on
I'm
that
sorry,
too.
what do you think about Dear Dana? Thank you for your comment, Dear Dana. But she said, to be honest, there is no shade here. I am a psychotherapist. For a long time, Biden has shown signs of dementia. I truly do not believe he is running our country. What do you think about that?
I'm sorry, baby, for a minute. Okay, man. Okay, okay. Daddy got you. Daddy got you. I know. I
Oh,
know.
that's
She
sweet.
was.
How does your
Okay.
baby?
Maybe 4 months and 27. Mama, what's going on? Mama?
So, dear Dana was saying that she doesn't believe, based on her skills, that she do not believe that. And I don't believe that Biden is running the country either, because they have shown so many videos of him, like he was walking across the stage with a man that was blind, and he got partial way, and he said, "Where are we going?" And the people quickly snatched the blind snatched the blind man away from Biden, and led the blind man to the destination he was supposed to be in. And I'm like, oh my God, they are just really, I think that it's abuse the way they are using this man.
Yeah, he definitely. I don't think he. Okay, okay, mama. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. I don't
Oh,
think he. I don't think he. Yeah, even since when he first started running, I don't think he was mentally capable of even running for president, let alone becoming president. Um, but then, I mean, when you look at the position of president, the commander in chief, uh, he's just the face of the country. I don't that that's a whole other conversation of who run the country. But
yeah,
I agree with her. I totally agree with her.
I do too. I do too. But what can we really do? Because it seems like no matter how much we holler, scream, and shout, it's like they're not doing anything to benefit us. So I'm just gonna stay prayed up. And I love, you just have so much knowledge. Like, I just love picking your brain, and I hope you don't mind. I love picking your brain because you are so wise beyond your years.
Oh, I actually welcome it. I hope people pick my brain.
Huh?
I said I rather enjoy it when people pick my brain. So I
Yeah.
welcome it. Please do.
Yeah, thank you so much because I would see you on your panel and I'm like, man, but it'd be so late, everybody will be laying down and everything. And I'm like, man, I want to get a chance to talk to him. But I do want to do that fun facts about you interview with you. Everybody that's on the live right now, on my channel, I do fun facts interview. It's not the kind where I'm drilling into your personal business. I'm asking questions, but I'm asking funny questions. I'm asking things, that people want to know about you in a fun way. I'm not trying to get into your business because I don't think that I'm not professional, so I have no right to get into your business. I want to know what type of music you like, what's the funniest thing that happened to you, in front of a girl or a boy, stuff like that, so that we can laugh and have some fun. You know what I'm saying? So it's more in that area. And also I do stories about abuse when it comes to, minors. And also I talk about, CPS, and a lot of people are unaware of the stuff that's going on with CPS. And as I find out new information, I try to drop those nuggets in case somebody that may come in contact with CPS, because all it takes is a disgruntled person to call and lie on you and say that you did something. And even if it's not true, CPS will come out. But when CPS comes out, they're not coming out to say, oh, just let me check and see, if everything is okay. Oh, nothing's going on here. They're like, oh, cute baby. So now guess what? They try to talk to you and act like they totally understand. They want to give you leading questions. Like when you get upset, it's hard to focus at times, huh? And you like, yeah, sometimes it is. Then they wrote, oh, the parent can't focus. They're not capable of handling their child. And if you have one dish in your sink, they'll say, oh, the parent had a sink full of dishes with maggots running around. Oh, you got a load of laundry. Oh, the parents' laundry was spilling all over. The kids' room is filthy. They're writing everything totally the opposite of what is actually going on. And this is the way they get your kids up out of the house. So these are the things that I try to educate people on when it comes to CPS. And you take CPS very, very serious. If they come to your door without a warrant, you absolutely do not have to let them in. Even if the police come, they should not be trying to force your door open or anything. They cannot do that because they don't have a warrant. But if your children go to school, they can indeed talk to your children. So educate your children ahead of time, especially if they're older children and they can comprehend, what's going on, and let them know, look, these are some of the tactics that they use. They may ask you leading questions. Turn on your cell phone, but put it on video so that they won't change up your words. And then once your child finished talking to them, you could take that same information and get yourself a CPS, criminal defense attorney. Do not go and get a regular family law attorney, because it'll be like you being let me see, how can I say it? Like it's your first day in class as a nurse and you're walking into a hospital and you're like, oh, I can do a surgery, and you know nothing about it. It's a totally different world from a regular family law court. They have different laws. They have different things that they do, in that court. And if you get a regular family law attorney, they will eat them up, spit them out, and you will lose your kids. So those are some of the things that I talk about. If anybody want me to talk about some stuff when it comes to CPS, you have questions, you can email me. My email address is in my bio section, and I'll definitely get the information the best of my ability and drop that video for you so that you'll have something to stand on. Now here in California, they're implementing that you absolutely have to tell the social worker when they come out that you're video recording them. If you don't and you record them, you could be arrested, which is another way of stripping away your parental rights. And another thing they're implementing is that once your parental rights are taken away, you can absolutely regain your parental rights if you get the right CPS, criminal defense attorney. It's a lot of information that I have, so I just wanted to throw that out there, the word.
Yeah, I think that's because I don't know nothing about CPS. but I heard horror stories. So just having someone in a circle that um, we can go to, I think that's it's fruitful. Um, it's I'm trying to build a network where people have any question, we have a resource for. So I'm grateful just to meet you because of that. Because I don't think too many people are hitting on that, and that's important because okay, son, okay, calm down.
Aw.
Listen, calm down. Yeah, it's
Um,
bedtime and he going crazy. I'm telling
but
you,
to answer
both of these
Dana,
got boys, but
every child is money, is money a paycheck, and not only that, CPS, what they do is they hire people that don't necessarily have children, so that they will not be compassionate towards your kids. If they find out that you are compassionate towards the person that the investigation has started against, they will remove you and place somebody else there. Also, CPS, if you ever had a case in the past, CPS absolutely can reopen your case if they feel that there is something not right, and you will go through the whole thing. My suggestion is, if you know somebody and they tell you CPS is called, they don't have to let them in, but tell them to get a criminal defense CPS attorney for juveniles. Do not go the cheap way. The cheap way will cost you your children. Once you get into that system, it is a bunch of webs you're going to have to go through. They will make you do drug testing. They will make you take classes. They will schedule drug testing, and you live an hour away. And if you miss it, they'll say that you failed. So read, study, read, study, read. And I definitely will do some research if somebody needs me to look up some stuff. So there are over 500 plus thousand children right now that are currently in CPS that are literally missing. They don't know where they are, and the foster parents are still getting paychecks for the kids and not reporting that these children are missing. So it's a lot of stuff that's going on in CPS. So you guys, please don't use CPS as a weapon and a means to hurt somebody. It's not going to just hurt the parent. It's going to put that child through a lifelong trauma. And I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead. The word. It was not clear how to help their son. Bless them. They were able to lose him. Yes. Are you there, the word? Or if you're busy, it's okay. But yeah, it's a whole new world when you enter into CPS. It's a whole new world. They got a whole lot of whistleblowers now, and they're trying to, now they have laws where the family member can get the kid. At first they will, it depends on the state. Really, it depends on the state that you are in. Yeah, they set you up to fail. You are absolutely 100%. That's why you need to start reading. You need to start keeping notes. Any letter, any email, any correspondence that you get, you better hold on to that is your life, your life insurance policy. Because if you miss one piece of paper, they could use that against you and say that you did not cooperate. Do not accept any free lawyers. Do not accept their doctors. Don't accept anything from them free, because they all eat out of the same pot and they're all after the same thing. They're not going to go against one another unless you get so blessed and find someone that one last wild card. Do not take anything from them free. You better, if you got $10,000 to put down on a car, you better put that money down on a CPS criminal defense juvenile attorney and get your kid back, okay? Because that criminal defense attorney will help you, especially when you go get them. You find out how long they've been practicing, find out how many wins they've had. Do your homework. Don't grab the first thing smoking. So I just want to to let you go. These are some of the things that I talk about. And since nobody has been saying anything to me, I haven't been putting the videos up. I haven't been doing the research anymore, but I will. Okay. If you need me to do an upload or a video where you're sitting there and I'm trying to gather the information for you, I can direct you to an attorney's office where you could get free consultation. And they'll be able to help you. Just tell them that Together We Break Chains Production sent you, and they should be able to help you. And so, hi, Big Tim, how you doing? Hey, you guys, if you guys can, and if you have not already, you guys, we're trying to help every YouTuber that comes on to reach their 1K. If you could please go and click that like button and that subscribe button on Big Tim, and anybody else that has a channel, please let's support one another, you guys. It's a lot of money out here. Everybody can get into the pot and make some money. It's not just, oh, you're going to get more than me. It depends on how much work you put in this game. But you guys, please go out, support him, and tell your friends and your other friends and your other friends, to subscribe and help other people out. We need to all reach back and help one another. So with that being said, are you still there, or are you dealing with Miss Lola? Okay, the word,
Yeah,
are you there?
Yeah, I gotta drop down though.
Okay, can you give a word of encouragement? Because once you do that word of encouragement, I'm dropping down.
I'm sorry, you said one more time?
Can you leave us with some words of encouragement? After you do that, I am going to drop down. I just want you to close us out with a word of encouragement.
I'm going to tell you what I always tell people: care about how you feel. Because the more we are aware of our own emotions, our own feelings, the better decisions we can make and the better interactions we can have with one another. These problems and situations that we all suffer from can be solved. We just got to come together and do it, and we can. We just, in my opinion, is to master our own emotions, or at least control them, because that's the biggest thing that keeps us separated. And there's a lot of devices used to tap into those emotions and keep us divided, such as religion and politics. We just had an example of that. So care about how you feel. Be aware. I appreciate you for allowing me on your platform. And hopefully, we can do this again.
Oh, most definitely. I definitely want you back on mine. You're welcome anytime. Thank you. It's an honor to talk to you. I've always wanted to talk to you. So thank you for gracing my channel.
And hopefully next time I won't be playing mommy daddy and then I can actually go into deep. But I greatly appreciate. Okay, she threw up.
Okay, if you need to talk to me, you want to come up or you want to talk to me off, you can hit me in my email, send me your number, and I will call you directly. So you could do it that way if you want me to, sweetie. I was live earlier today. You know what? I want to say too, it's still 7 people in here, and I know other people are going to look at this later. I don't know what YouTube is doing. I keep refreshing and refreshing and freshing and refreshing. And no matter who is on, I am absolutely not getting any of my notifications. I have been missing Renrock. I have been missing Big Tim. I have been missing You New. I have been missing anybody that I am subscribed to. And I keep going through this every single day. And if you don't see me in your chat, it's not me. I keep refreshing. And I'm sitting here like a Coca-Cola head trying to find content to look at, and YouTube is not giving it to me. And then all of a sudden, oh, such and such went live 3 hours ago. I was looking for you 3 hours ago. So I don't know what's going on, you guys. It's not me, because I love to support everybody. Everybody. Let me see. Hold on. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Girl, you better say that. You better look. I wish I could high five her. No, I select all, Tracy. I did everything. And I even went to the point where people that I was subscribed to for a very long time, I subscribed and unsubscribed. So if there was ever, if they were saying, well, you would have been the 1,000th subscriber or something, I would have lost out because I got to keep subscribing, unsubscribing, and hitting all. And I'm still not getting my notification because normally Big Tim, no, I'll be in his chat. I'll be looking at his content. I'll be in there, like, responding back to him, but I'm just not getting anything, and I don't want him to miss out on the views because he needs the views, he needs the support, So that's what's happening right now. So if you don't see me in your chat, it's not me. It's not me. You can't select all on your notification bell. Baby, I don't know what's wrong. That's why, you knew is on the phone. She is more of the techie type person. But, go to her page, go to her bio, and she will be able to help you with that. Perpetual, Miss April is not on. She started off with me. But what happened is in Chicago, there's a really, really severe thunderstorm. And for her safety, she got off of all devices, which I'm glad she did. But I am definitely going to call and check up on her after this. That's my buddy. That's my ace coon boom. So I got to make sure and know that she's okay. So I'll let her know that everybody said hello in the chat. So anybody that wants to talk to me after, like I said, go to my page and go to my bio. I put my email address in there, and I definitely respond to people that email me. But with that being said, you guys, I am so grateful. Thank you, each and every one of you. I know that you're all not a part of my channel. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys sticking with me, even though I'm not Miss April. And again, I do fun facts about you interviews. Anybody that want me to interview them, please email me, and I can set up the email. The live, we can do it on my channel, and you can stream it to yours. I have a few people that I would love to interview. So please, if you want me to do the fun facts interview, please, you guys, it's not me getting in your personal business. It's all fun. And we want to just have some fun. And it's another way for your subscribers to get to know the fun side of you, even if you are funny, anyway, you knew is a crack up. And when I did it with her, we had a blast. It's nothing personal. I don't get deep into your stuff. I definitely want to get with Steve Gilmore and a few other people. Tracy, I definitely want to do a fun fact interview, even though you don't have a channel. I just want to get the ball rolling. So thank you so much, Miss April. I know she loves you guys, and you guys just be wishing her well. Oh, you said give you a minute? Okay, I'll try to flap my jacks for a few more minutes. But yeah, this has been fun. Yeah, and also, like I said before, I talk about CPS, and Dana said it very well. They don't care, and I appreciate Dana for interacting with me. If anybody else wants to come up, you're more than welcome. You have to go to my actual channel and then click on my live, and then I'm gonna put the link in, and you can come up and say your biddings, whatever it is you want to say. I have no problem. Loving me some Tracy Anderson. I love it. I love that name. I kept looking at that all night. Like, I love that name. So yeah, you guys, we got to definitely start listening to one another, not speaking at one another. If you say something I don't like or I don't agree with, I need to be in a position where I can respect that you don't have the same views as me, and we can talk it over. It should not ever become a battle where you get so emotional and you just basically go off on me because of whatever it is that you went through or however you feel. We shouldn't be doing that. That's how come we can't get anywhere. Like the word said, we can't go any further because some people feel so passionate and they are willing to and I'm not saying that she attacked me, but I felt attacked and I felt disrespected because no matter what, I was trying to let her know, hey, this is what I know. This is what, I see. This is my point of view, and if she didn't agree with it, I would have listened to her and said, okay, you know what? That's something that I need to research. That's something that I need to think about. Okay. But I'm not going to just shut you down, get pissed off and click off. That's something I wouldn't do, because that's like telling the person, F-bombed you and hanging up. You never gave them a chance to say their piece, so if that was a trigger, I can't do anything about it, but I'm not here to trigger anyone. You're very kind too, dear Dana. You're very kind too. All of you guys are kind for coming here, even though Miss April is not here. You guys don't know, my heart is so full right now that you guys are actually still here with me, knowing that this is not, I'm not Miss April Showers. Thank you. And I'll say probably thank you a million more times, because I'm very grateful, because you guys could be doing other things. You didn't even have to click on here. You'd be like, oh, her, I don't want to talk. I don't want to hear her. I want to hear Miss April. You could have clicked off, but you didn't do that. So I'm extremely grateful. Thank you so very much. And I would love to see you guys on my channel, when I go live. And if, I need to get you guys' channels too, so I can start showing up in your channel. If you don't see me, like I said, it's not me, it's YouTube. YouTube is messing with me big time. And I'm telling you, when I say big time, they are private in my own videos. They're doing all kinds of weird stuff to my videos. And I'm like, I was talking to You yesterday, and I looked and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't do any of this. So they are really messing with content creators for whatever reason. And it's just what it is, it's not the same. You can't say anything because people get easily offended. I don't like that. And if I offend anybody, please tell me, because if I'm not the type of person, apologies, I had to drop. That's okay. No, it's cool. I know that you're dealing with the baby. Yeah, Tracy, my little humble, but I'm just like, I'm just filled with joy, because like I got to talk to the Word, and I'm not worshiping him, but I was like, man, I want to be on a panel with him. And guess what? It happened. That's crazy, because I never thought that I would get an opportunity. And it was like, dang, I got to talk to the Word. What? Stuff like that. Some people that I see and I like, I'm like, oh, I want to talk to that person. I want to talk to this person. I want to talk to that person. And I get the opportunity to do it. And it's a joy, it's a pleasure. And I understand you with your baby. Like I said, I don't trip off of that kind of stuff. That's not me. If your child in the background screaming, oh, well, maybe they want your attention. Give them some daggone attention. Put the mic on mute. Give them their attention and come back. It's all good. I ain't tripping. Shoot. But I'm gonna go ahead and let this go, you guys. You guys have been such an amazing joy. Don't forget, you guys, if you're not subscribed, get on over there to the Word. He will give you some info. He will give you some knowledge. If you dumb, when you finish listening to him, you're gonna be a little bit more smarter. Okay. You're gonna be a little bit more smarter if you would. And this is just an expression. I'm not talking about nobody. If you a Chrissy Snow from what's the name of Three's Company, you're gonna come out a little bit smarter when you're dealing with the Word, because he gonna make sure you get it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like about him. He gonna make sure. Well, since you don't understand it this way, let me say it this way.
I'm back.
You're gonna get it. When you knew. You'll be on them graphics, y'all. Let me tell you. So, yeah, definitely drop them links, drop them channels for me, Tracy. Thank you. Tracy is one of my moderators on my channel too, and I don't see it blue on this end, but yeah, she's one of my moderators. Yeah, that's my girl right there.
I have to pull up my my iPad to be able to see the chat.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so me and you, Neil, when we get on the phone, we be busting up live. We have like 48 100 different conversations in 5 minutes.
Yep.
And then we'll circle back around to each.
Because we both have those senior moments, and we're like, "What the heck were we just talking about?"
I'm like, "Oh yeah," and she on something else, and I let her talk, and I go, "Oh yeah," and then this, and then we get over that. Man, if you guys could be a fly on the wall listening to us, y'all be like, they must have had a drink.
You'd have to be a fly on the wires because we're not in the same household.
I know, right? Man, I'm telling you, it's funny. It's funny. We get along good. We get along good.
We do.
And Miss April, I just love her to pieces, man.
I hope she's okay.
That's my baby right there. That's my heart. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, that's my heartbeat. Because Miss April, if I do something, she'd be like, together? I'd be like, uh-oh, what I do? And I don't care about getting chastised. If I did something wrong, y'all better let me know. Don't let me sit up on this internet and look stupid. That's what I don't want y'all to do. Don't let me sit up here and look stupid. Tell me if I did something wrong.
I wanted to say something because even though I was on the phone, I was kind of listening on the other ear. So I got one ear on and one ear off. So basically, you were saying, funny. You were saying, Tracy was saying something about you couldn't get the notification wasn't doing it. Like it wouldn't notify all. It would just go to basically just subscribe. You can't do all or nothing, right? What it is you need to go in your stuff into your backyard of YouTube and fix that little click that you have to click on something that will fix it. First of all, what you do is you already have all your information, right? You have your password and everything, right? You have your password? Hello?
Who are you talking to?
Am I talking to myself?
You talking to Tracy or you talking to me? Because I ain't having that problem. It's Tracy.
I know. Okay, I'm talking to you, woman. I'm telling you what Tracy said, but I'm talking to you. You
Girl,
need to go in.
I done zoned out to the look. I done zoned out. This man started cooking food, and I heard you in the background of me looking at these ribs.
Oh my gosh!
I heard you talking. I was like, ribs. I'm looking at him seasoning the ribs and slathering it with barbecue sauce. I hear you, but my brain and my eyes is focused on them ribs. And you said, hello. I said, oh, huh? Girl, I'm greedy. I'm sorry. I'm greedy. You can't give me no okra. You can't give me no squash, but I'm greedy. You can't do it. I will sit there. No. Lord have mercy, girl. See, now you acting like you on the phone with me. Stop that.
Okay, so you go into the back of YouTube. There's some clicking you need to do. But first of all, you need to make sure you have your password and be able to get back into your account because not everybody remembers their password. It's kind of hard to get back into your account. So I need you to go and click something on there because this is what's causing people not to be able to press their all button.
You mean Tracy? I ain't got no problem with my all button.
Your notification button.
Girl, you know what? We're going to have to do that off the phone because I'm
for real. Yeah, we're going to do that.
I'm atomic slow. I'll have you repeat that like 12 times because I'm still focusing on these daggone ribs. But okay, that's another story.
Okay, so another thing, Tracy, if you're not able to do the all button, you might have to go to your account and do the same thing and be able to, because sometimes there's glitches in the YouTube situation. Just so y'all know, there is some situations with YouTube that's causing glitching.
YouTube is full of popcorn and butter.
No, they full of...
Now I'm going to leave it clean. The word is listening.
I said
the word is listening. I got to keep it clean because he got little babies around here.
That's why I said...
You're a troublemaker. Shut up.
Anyway, so yeah, you're gonna have to do that because for some odd reason, and I feel the same way. Like Together said, the notification thing needs to be worked on big time by YouTube or whoever else that's needing to work on it, because I don't get notifications until somebody's either ending or they already started like 30 minutes to an hour into their live and they're about to get off.
I wish
And
I
I'm
had
like,
the money to open up something like this, but better. I'm telling you, they will be out of business because ain't no
welcome.
way I'd be like, you doing this and you cussing and you do look, if you cuss, just don't cuss at me.
Right.
You know, just don't dox nobody. You won't be able to dox, you won't be able to upload anything that's personal information, you won't be able to talk about it. I would do all that, but I would pay people fairly. And I would, at beginning, like even if you're a new beginner YouTube, even if you don't even have 100, I will put a button up there so in case you run into any issues, you'll be able to talk to a live technician to get the help that you need. Because that community wall is garbage. Garbage. And I hope y'all hear me. It's garbage.
Yeah.
Which y'all get paid for, to just type stuff and think people are supposed to. Some people don't have time to read. They're in a rush to do certain things. You need to have a live person on hand. Ain't that what you taking everybody money for? Shoot. I'm going to get in trouble today. Watch.
Yes, she is.
I ain't scared. Shoot. I'll just make another page. I'm just kidding.
Do not say that. Don't say that. Don't do that.
I'm just playing.
Do not say that.
Girl, I didn't even say the full word. I was just playing. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get off here because I'm about to get in trouble.
Yes, she is. She really is going to get in trouble.
I'm going to call you later.
She don't know that YT is literally listening to everything we're saying.
Okay, then you too. Help us help you if you listening. But I like y'all.
She gonna send you a birthday present. When is your birthday, YouTube?
I gotta Google it.
What's your favorite color?
Apparently it's red.
Red and white. Oops, don't forget the black.
What
red,
set
white,
you
and black.
from? Hey, what set you from, app? Okay, I'm done, y'all. I'm about to get out of here. We gone, y'all. Thank you for joining us. We love you. Hey, you guys, stay positive. Why? Because you're all beautiful. And with that being said, we are out in 5,000.
Yes, have a great day.